We'll bring up the technology portion of the meeting. And I'm glad there's someone besides me to do that. Watch out, Sheriff. Thank you.
Thank you.
Should be good.
All right. Let's call this meeting of Barbour County Commission to order, and we'll start with the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. So we have probably the biggest agenda we have ever had in my tenure, 5 years on this commission. So we're going to lay a few ground rules. If you're here and not here to speak, but you are not on the agenda, you will only be given the opportunity to speak if we have questions or ask for a statement from you. If you are on the agenda to speak, I ask that you keep it at a maximum of 5 minutes for your portion, and then we'll of course have question and answers after that. We've got a lot to do today and some pretty big agenda items, so let's work together and get through it. Item number 1, approve minutes and corrections.
So moved.
We have a motion to approve the minutes and corrections as presented by Shayna. We have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passed. Exonerations, we have some that we'll review during the meeting. Estates, and settlements. Oh, right on time. We'll go on to,
Right here, Brett.
we'll go to, are you ready for the settlements, Lori? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
We have 2 final settlements. Terry Omar Stallings II and Patricia Ben Khalifa. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I apologize.
So we have 2 final settlements presented by the county clerk.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve those final settlements.
Also, there's an also, sorry.
Oh, sorry.
I got a letter from Beth Longo. So should I read it? Because I didn't get a chance to tell it to you.
Is it about
about
settling an
fiduciary.
estate?
No, it's about becoming a fiduciary.
Let's do the estates and then we'll do fiduciary.
Okay,
I'll
and
second.
I'll also have another estate that we talked about the September 8th meeting.
Is it finalized?
No, we just started
Okay, let's
it.
finalize these estates.
Okay.
I'll second your motion.
All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the settlement of these 2 estates as presented. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, Lori.
Okay, I just didn't want to miss my speaking time. So this estate we discussed September 8th, along with the Betty Bowlby estate. This is the Mary Lou Cross estate. We are using a copy of a will, which I talked to Andrew Phillips about, prosecuting attorney. And so this has been talked about already, we discussed in the September 8th meeting, if you look in the minutes. And I need Dave Straight's signature on a couple of papers. This is just to start the estate.
Right.
This is not to finish the estate. And Beth Longo, thank you very much for your appointment of me as fiduciary commissioner. I took your competence seriously and met with the county clerk to get the materials I'd need to prepare for the office. However, however, after looking into the duties of the position, I realized it is not a good fit for me at this time. Thank you for all your hard work on behalf of the county. Sincerely, Beth Longo. So this was addressed to the commissioners. Gerald brought it to me, and This was November 3rd. I thought there's no need to, I could have scanned it to you, I could have had Shana scan it to you. I apologize for that, but I'm presenting it now.
Okay. Well, we appreciate her consideration.
They still
And
do
if
not have a
anybody wants
fiduciary.
to be a
So we
fiduciary,
still need,
let's-
she's not gonna do it, so we need a
what
fiduciary.
do we don't need a,
We need to find a fiduciary so Grace can stop doing it.
yeah.
Grace does not want to continue doing it. I think.
Or
she's
two, or
done.
two.
Or
if we
two,
can find- Yeah.
Grace is done. She's done. She's tired. She's done. So,
All right. Thank you. Appointments. We have, consider reappointing Mary Poling to the Chestnut Ridge PSD Board. I had a discussion with Mary this morning, and she does wish to consider this reappointment. I want to say I appreciate Mary picking up the ball upon the death of her husband and seeing his vision through with Chestnut Ridge, and now that you have an opportunity to bail out, as it were, you're going to keep carrying the ball. So I just want to say thank you for being considered. And
thank you, and I appreciate your support.
yeah. All right, that said, I'd be honored to make a motion that we reappoint Mary Poling to the Chestnut Ridge PSD Board.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes unanimously, and thanks again, Mayor.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mayor.
We also have were there any canceled orders or budget adjustments? I didn't see any. Resolution, we have the Barbour County Economic Development LEDA resolution. Shana, you want to help us out with
So Cheryl submitted this as a requirement for her grant application. The commission has already committed $30,000 in the 25-26 budget year. So she just needs to have this formally adopted and to submit with her application.
that? All right. Is there a motion to approve?
Y'all make the motion, we approve the LEDA resolution.
Is there a second?
A second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, and I will sign the resolution after the meeting. All right. I got ahead of myself here. Invoices, I'm sure there are some that I will review. Item number 3, Barbour County Health Department update.
Maybe circle back to her.
Yeah, and do you think she'll be here? All right, so we'll skip over item number 3 for now. Item number 4, weather ready presentation. I see a fella I bet is going to speak on that. If you could come over to the podium, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, good morning. I'll be brief since you all got a long weekend. My name is Tony Edwards. I'm the warning coordination meteorologist with the National Weather Service in Charleston, and I'm up here to recognize Barbour County as the 21st storm-ready county in West Virginia. We've been working with Corey and Dylan for quite some time, and appreciate them filling out the application. Really, this was the easiest county I've ever had to get storm-ready. There is a pretty good application, and mainly it encourages preparedness and communication in the community when it comes to severe weather events, and preparedness starts well in advance of the weather situation, and they're active in the community spreading preparedness information. I've been up numerous times at the public library in Belington giving talks to kids all the way up to senior citizens, and so that's an important component. But then also being able to get weather information into the community using HyperReach. They're really proactive with that. We have really good communication with the county during weather events. We're tied in with the 911 center, where as a dispatcher logs a weather-related call, that automatically gets fed to us. There's no phone call needed. There's no delay. So we're able to keep up with weather impacting the county. And flooding is huge here, so flooding, that information. You're a long way from Charleston, so having that information feed to us is critical. So there was really hardly anything needed to do additional to get Barbour County storm ready. I think we put a weather radio in one of the schools that is out of the cell phone signal area. So really, a really easy process, and I just, I commend emergency management and 911 for what they've done in the county and the commission for supporting them in these efforts. It's really kind of nice to work through this process, and especially when it's as easy as this one was. So this is a 5-year designation, and so we'll revisit this in 5 years. The benefits to the county is there is a process where you can get some extra points towards your community rating system for flood insurance. If you participate in that, there's also a sign that I'll give, and also the artwork that your sign shop will be able to print other signs and put around the county to advertise that you all are a storm rated county. So that's pretty much it for me. I just appreciate again the commission for supporting the efforts, and for Corey and Dylan and everything that they've done to help with this process. So thank you very much.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. I can't say enough how lucky we are to have these two looking out for our public safety and our emergency preparedness around the county, and they do a lot of hard work, diligent work, and probably way more than the public knows, but through having a county radio and them staying in very good communication with me by text and phone when things are happening all night long. They're out there ahead of these events and making sure that our public's safe. And I just want to say thank you once again to you guys for what you do. We appreciate you more than you know.
Thank you, guys.
Can we grab a picture real quick?
Sure, absolutely. Would it be better to come down there, or since you got that sign?
Probably so.
Oh, yeah, I think so. We'll get around that.
Put one side over for you.
Good job.
Good luck next week.
Good job, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Did Sheila come back?
She's coming.
Okay.
Figure out something.
I figured that. So, item number 5, Barbour County Sheriff's Department. We have a few things to look at under that. Item A is Shop with a Cop initiative.
Yeah, we're going to do shopping cop this year in December, and we're going to do it. We're not going to be in Grafton this year. We'll be in Buchanan, and we're just openly taking donations right now for children. We're taking 4 kids from every school. We try to do $150 to $200 per kid. We do have some money left over from last year, but we're just asking the county commission make a donation to Shop the Cop for that.
How many kids is it this year?
How many this time? 21. I think we started at 10 and 15 to 21. We'd obviously like to get as many as we can, but this year donations have been a little lower than they have in the past. So we decided to come to county commission and ask for some help with it. We do 150, 200 kids is what we try to do.
Like a phone or something.
Yeah.
I think.
Forgive me, there's some kind of vibration going on up here, and that's not my phone. Anyway.
I hear it.
Well, I hear it and feel it. I just wanted to make sure there's not an alarm, silent alarm going off. That, yeah. If so, I think we're well protected. All right. Do you have what
Trying to
last year's
remember
amount
what y'all
was.
did last year, I don't remember.
You had Walmart though last year.
We still had it, we were in Buchanan last year, the year before Walmart grabbed, but every time we do grab, our tax ID number messes the registers up for whatever reason, so we had to move it to Buchanan.
So you don't have Walmart this year, do you?
Yeah, but Walmart, but,
That's, I
Okay,
mean, I'm
Walmart
good.
Buchanan.
yes. Yeah, Walmart's not doing any money for us.
Slower, isn't it?
Yeah, this year's been different.
I thought it was
We have.
Yeah, I'm fine.
I'll make a motion that we, donate $2,500 to the Shop with a Cop initiative.
Thank you.
I'll
Very
second.
much. And I know the kids thank you.
All right, we have a motion and a second to make a donation of $2,500 to Barbour County Shop with Cops, the Barbour County Sheriff's Department. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 3-0. 5B, Sheriff's Department, Sheriff's Department settlement is presented in accordance to West Virginia Code 6-8-1. I think you just got volunteered.
The settlement, the differences are described out at the bottom. There is the 2,700 that the software company did say to hold off just a little bit. We're gonna dig a little bit deeper and do it like a mid-year settlement to see if we can locate where that belongs, but we'll touch base with that a little bit later. Okay, but it is presented as it is accurate and all of that.
All right. So the sheriff's tax settlement is presented with a variance of 2797.07. We know that they have taken a pretty deep dive into getting that down to that number, and I appreciate your efforts on that and your willingness to continue to find that discrepancy.
And I had to step up and say she's done an amazing job. Since she has stepped up in the position she's done.
Yeah.
She's been amazing. She's worked weekends, mornings, nights, holidays, all
She's
by
worked
herself
late nights.
to get stuff done. And I commend her for that.
Thank you.
Yeah, this wasn't her discrepancy to find, she was handed. So we appreciate her work.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, that said, I'll make a motion to approve the sheriff's settlement in accordance to West Virginia Code 6-8-1.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 3-0. And distributions for sheriff commission and assessor evaluation.
I forgot to give this to you guys. This is for the sheriff's commission. It shows that he did get above the 85% of taxes collected to get that commission check. The assessor's valuation, since we have the settlement done, we were able to do the sheriff's commission and of course the assessor val. And checks will be created for the assessor val later today.
All right. Based on the information presented previously to us in the agenda and today here by Sheila, I'll make a motion that we approve the distribution of the sheriff commission and assessor valuation funds as according to state code.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 3-0. Anything else for the sheriff's department?
Thank you.
Appreciate all your hard work.
Thank you for the donation.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you for what you're doing
Brad,
with
what
the
day are
kids.
you shopping?
Fifth? December 3rd, 5th, the first week of December. I think it's on.
December 3rd is what it says here.
This is on a Friday, so that's the parade.
Is it on Friday?
The fifth is on a Friday.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we
I run into a
appreciate.
problem that we ran into on the state's bureau of units, because I'm not sure how to address it. If, say we get 25 kids or 30 kids, the majority of the time 20 show up because the parents are pregnant. And we were trying to figure out if we could use a school bus, and then we were trying to figure out what the insurance would be, because there's so many kids that the parents will take, and then they call me and they want a gift card. They want money, they want something they can take back in exchange for drugs.
Right.
And we're trying to figure out, we can't just put them in cruisers and take them over there and be in a car accident, because obviously the CRAP nation we live in. But I don't know if there's any way, a church bus or something like that, where we can possibly get more kids.
What about the
Here
transit?
and there transit, yeah, I was
This is
thinking,
the first year we ran into trying to think about how to get transportation.
I can give you a contact to that
Last year we
record.
did it on a Tuesday, and we actually ended up going back Wednesday and Thursday because the kids couldn't make it, so I went back 2 extra nights to celebrate with them. Which I don't mind, but it's not fair for the kids.
right.
The boy kid was over by self shop,
Yeah.
and he felt singled out, and I know that, I could tell. And that's not right for the kid, we try to help them, not, degrade them.
Yeah, as Shayna said, contact here and there.
And that's very possible, I just want to throw that out there, because I'm gonna come to y'all later and say, hey, we probably need to work on something like this.
Yeah,
And I wish we could take everything.
and I agree, I'm not in favor of a gift card.
No, I
Yeah.
refuse. And everything we buy with it, we have to put a tag on where it can't be returned, because the parents bring it all back and they stay in return for cash. But there's gotta be a way to fix it, there's a way, it's just fine.
So Brett, I'm gonna take a little, I know I'm the one that preached we gotta move, but, all day long, all my staff and everybody I've met in the hallway at the hospital, I've said, tell me something good. Brett, after that, tell me something good. Anything, give us something good, positive.
Oh, something positive, we're all still here and alive and breathing, and Christmas and Thanksgiving's coming up on us, so.
There you go.
There you go.
And you've got, I'm sure that Shop with the Cop does just as much good for the law enforcement.
I can say, probably every year I've been there, I've cried. Probably every year, because.
I can
We've
understand.
had kids come in, last year, the year before, I had a young girl come in, and she bought a bunch of, I ended up spending $300 on her, I took it out of my pocket. She bought blankets and pillows, and we were like, okay, that's what she wants. She said my siblings and mom and dad had their blankets and pillows in our entire house. So she spent her money, and then another girl bought her siblings underwear and t-shirts, and it's horrible, it's just horrible. And then
Well,
when you see the conditions they're in when they show up, you can only imagine half the houses we've been in anyway, obviously. But the way these kids live, we should be giving them $20,000 every Christmas.
well,
It's
we
just not-
we appreciate work in the community and the positive that you're doing. So there's something
It's
positive.
one of the highlights of the sheriff's department, that's for sure.
Well, this is the commission's third different, organization that we've given to, for Christmas for kids and things like that, so
Yeah, I'm sure the home
Well,
runs
thank- you know,
too.
the other two commissioners for supporting all those.
But you gotta think, you have 7,000 kids in the state of West Virginia who don't have a home. 7,000, just in West Virginia. You can't even find a foster. That's where we need to be going. And then you start stepping up and we're getting so self-centered.
Yeah. It's amazing walking into our houses and that feeling of being home that we take advantage of and fail to realize every day. All right, I'll shut up and move on. Take my own advice. Contribution request, City of Belington Water Replacement Project. I think we have a couple of folks here to talk about that a little bit.
So,
Can you come up?
yeah, say that for a
So the,
Mr.
Mr. Mayor?
There you go.
I want to apologize for missing the last meeting and not being here to answer your questions or address your concerns. But this all came as a shock to council and me back a couple months ago. These sand fillers at the water plant are creating tremendous issues. I don't know what all you discussed last meeting, but I asked some questions, Gwen got me some information. It looks like it takes 8,000 gallons of water to backwash these fillers to get them clean. And they're doing that approximately 2 to 3 times a day at $110 each time they backwash it. so $330 a day, every 30 days. It grows very quickly, not to mention, I just seen the invoice last night for the electric bill at the water plant, and it was just shy of $5,000 for 1 month to run those pumps. And, it was a 15 to 20 year lifespan on those filters when they were installed. I'm sorry, it says 10 to 15. And they were installed in 2005. We're already 5 years over that. I don't know how it got overlooked in years past, but it came to light this year, and the city wasn't prepared for that kind of a hit. And we do have some money, and we were asking the commission for $80,000. That would finance half of that project. We would of course put up the other half. It's not so much an emergency as it has to get done tomorrow because we're not going to have any water, but it's more of an urgent project. And we're not looking for a check today, but maybe just a commitment, because it's going to take a couple months for us to get this work lined out, get the contractors, get them in there and get started on it. If you've got any questions regarding those filters and things, I'll do my best to answer them. Don's also here. Probably be best to let him answer it.
Joey, I'll say I have a big question. And that question is a time frame, Dawn and Joey both, that this has to be done. I know that every month that goes by, it's costing money. We're coming up on the end of our budget year, and we've had a lot of hits this year. Is there a possibility that we could try to find, and Nicole Severan's in there? You know, I don't want to say that every meeting, but it's just not. And that's what we've used to cushion these kind of things.
Right.
So you already know what the question is. Is there a way we could make this happen in the next budget year and try to find the money to do that? And how big of a burden would that be on the city of Belington to look at that? And
That's a question I'll have to get with Gwen and ask. Honestly, I don't see it happening. I know you're probably thinking the next fiscal year, probably July 1st. I don't see it by the time that they get the work lined out before March. And,
you know, like Joey said, it's not that we can't make water, but it's really inconvenient and really expensive the way we're going now. So we could probably struggle, if we have to, just struggle by. So
well, we won't have much of a choice.
we just can't shut it down, you know.
oh, absolutely, absolutely. I understand.
And like this weekend, when we got the high muddy water, it's twice as hard as during the summer when the water's clear.
Yeah, a whole lot more sediment coming into the filter.
Takes
I
a lot more
understand.
chemicals, electricity, time, and the more backwashes we do, everything goes into the sewer. So we're actually overloading the sewer system with our water system. So,
Yeah. Understood. And again, I'm not saying we won't or we can't, and I'm one person. That was my question is, we've heard this isn't an emergency, it's not an emergency. Well, I guess I'm trying to get a feel for the urgency then, you know, is it a 6-month project or is it a 3-month project? So,
I'm no math magician, but $300 a day, $9,000 a month, pretty urgent.
yeah. I see.
Joey, the lady that was here at the last meeting, was she from Region 7, Shane?
Yes, Karen.
She was saying if you approve the project now, it's 6 months before it'll get done.
See, and that's what I was gonna ask Gwen. I was.
That's what she
just
said.
throwing March out off of the head.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
right.
Is that from federal grant money? Is that why? Is that grant money for the water?
Well, they have to go through all the bidding procedures and
Yeah, she said 6
award the
months.
contract and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Engineer it,
That's it.
put it out to bid. Yeah.
I mean, CDS or CPF from Moore's office, that's an opportunity, and that was one of their big key things was drinking water. And as long as the government doesn't shut down, you get it fall next year, but that's really not feasible. Because by then, you look at $188,000 a year time frame, you just
And the
flush back out the river.
Right.
Little just-
We could have paid to do the project.
Yeah. And I'm not asking you to cut a check today, just if you'd be willing to make a commitment so we could start the planning process, start the bidding, and it may take 6-7 months to get this done. But we're afraid to go ahead and start that process.
Without a commitment. I understand. Well, gentlemen, Bob, I know you've been involved in this, and this is your district of the county. What are your thoughts?
Well, my thoughts are the same thoughts at the last meeting. I feel every person in this county deserves safe, reliable drinking water. Not a question. Every person. I've seen some that isn't safe or reliable, some of these wells. I mean, it's disgusting. I brought one in here from I don't know, Hackers Creek Road. Held it up in a mason jar. It was darker than iced tea. Couldn't see out the other side. That's just drinking water out as well. So I'm a big advocate, and I sort of took that on for every person in this county to have safe, reliable drinking water. $1 million question is, do we have the money? That's what, I don't think it's a question of anyone is for it.
I understand if we had it, we would.
Yeah, we'd do it right away.
What are your thoughts?
If we go the IJDC grant avenue, how long does that process take? That was a question that I had.
I'm not familiar with any of that. I apologize.
Because if we can't fund the full 80, if we can, whatever we can give,
Right, so.
I would just like to know how long, if it's 6 months one way, how long is it the other way?
So I know Carrie had pointed out if IJDC was utilized, that would increase the project cost by, what, 50,000?
50,000.
That's right.
But I don't think she addressed the time frame of seeking out those funds though. So I don't have an answer without reaching out to her again.
So is this something we want to make a decision on today? Well, let me ask one more question. As far as funding, what could we do if we made the decision to commit today to the project?
Well, I would recommend the funds being allocated from a Cole County reallocation fund. And, maybe doing up to a certain amount with the idea of if there's extra city money, then that should be preferred ahead of, the county commitment, or delay and seek out the IJDC funds, and that would increase the soft cost, but.
And with the IJDC funds, would that be for the full amount, including the extra upfront cost? They would seek
They
that
would
amount?
still be committed to their
match.
in addition to 25,000.
Right, okay. Yeah, they'd have to match each
Right.
part of that, right.
Yeah.
But they'd seek the full amount and their part would be the match, I guess was my question,
Yeah,
okay.
that's my understanding.
I guess it just depends on which way you look at it with the match. If it would take an extra 3 months and it turns into a 9-month project, then the $90,000 that it would take to match the grant you've already spent in the extra
In
utilities
water.
and chemicals and water. I don't know that delaying it is the best option, but if it is the only option, then we just have to deal with what it is and do the best we can.
I guess at this point, I'll look to the commission and say, is there a motion to approve this request?
Joey, is there a way that we could get that answer to that question? I think that might be the main holdup. Yeah, how, the difference of the timelines?
I can ask them and see if I'll get the information. It's just not something I'm familiar with.
Yeah.
And Carrie would definitely be a good resource to respond to that question as well.
All right, thank you.
All right, 6B, Chestnut Ridge PSD generator. So we had a funding request some time ago for 2 generators for Chestnut Ridge PSD when the power is off, so that they can run pumps that pump city water, current city water through Chestnut Ridge PSD lines to households that depend on those pumps for water. The original request for 2 generators, there were multiple quotes, and they settled on a quote for a Generac. Is that correct? Portable Generac?
I have the quote here. Yes.
Yeah. And 2 of those portable towable generators would be $80,662.58. I have talked to Mary multiple times about this, and I've also talked to her crew members and about what they could do with these, what they plan to do with these, and what would they do if they only had one. So they assured me that if they had one, they could run, set times and call customers if it's a long power outage and say, we're going to run your water from this time to this time, use it, conserve it from this time to this time while we go to this place and run that pump. There's 2 pumps in the county that would require this, a generator to use. So, any more discussion on this item?
I have one question. How often does this happen? I mean, is it once a year, 20 times a year, once a month, where there's not water?
May I?
Sure, I was
Well, generally, the 2 areas are 2 of the most remote areas in the county. You probably know our system is mostly gravity fed, but
Yes.
once gravity ends, we have these pump stations.
Right.
Those areas also happen to be the ones where there are most frequent power outages out in the cove, and I know our engineer was here last time who answered a lot of the questions.
Yeah.
That one wasn't asked, but we've discussed that that's probably the most frequent power outage in the county. When everybody else has power, those may not have.
Corey, Dylan, would you happen to have an answer to that question for those areas? I know
You
you.
may not know where those 2 areas are.
Yeah.
Hiram,
Yeah.
and I forget the other one, I'm sorry.
So I mean, it's totally dependent on weather. We have a bad winter. Like she said, that's a super remote area, and the power company, probably one of the last areas, they trim the right of ways out there. So you run the risk of trees falling, snapping. That's why initially when they started talking about this, we weren't totally in favor of a towable generator because, like she said, it's a remote area. How are you going to get the towable generator to the remote area with trees across the road and a foot and a half of snow on the road? But I mean, there's planned power outages that typically last all day. That's once, twice, 3 times a year. Just depends on weather, I guess. I mean, you've got a stormy summer and a heavy snow winter, it'd be rough, but
We don't have exact amount of every year on that area, area specific, no.
I know I've talked to customers in the Cove Run area, and they're saying 20 to 30 times a year, and up to 3 to 5 days sometimes in the wintertime. And I do know of incident last winter where they went without that water for
That's a
several
big,
days.
a big reason is remoteness, you know, power companies cutting trees and fighting a foot and a half of snow on the road to get down to the cove.
And typically, power companies work on highest impact first.
Sure. And
More bang for the buck during a storm event.
the Chestnut Ridge technicians told me that that Cove Run area is certainly affected more than the Hiram area, and it seems like the outages are longer, and I do know there were, and just trying to keep track and making sure those people got what they needed down there. There were a couple events last winter that lasted 3 days or more.
Well, I mean, just for reference, Superstorm Sandy, that was one of the last areas to get turned back on, and that was pushing the 10 to 14 day mark. So,
And unfortunately, an important thing to think about, you know, with the towable generators, the cove is the most remote area. It's probably not gonna get plowed until it melts off. And DOH has a hard time pulling, you know, the resources are limited. We have a hard time getting highways to pull for accident scenes, let alone to take a pump station, a generator. So that's probably not gonna be an option.
I don't think the pump stations are in, they themselves are not in the extremely remote areas. They're on more near the main roads.
Yeah.
But all the residents served by them are in remote areas that get trees on power lines, and those are not the first priority. So it's what we're looking at. And unfortunately, as we seek funding, this is the kind of funding that IJDC and others do not make priorities. They want you to get new customers, new water lines, but they don't like to buy hardware. So it's real hard for us to fund it.
Any other questions? That said, is there a motion on this item?
So what was the answer to, can they just get away with one?
Yeah, they said if one's certainly better than none, and they, again, the schedule, will, if both are out, then we'll schedule water on like 12 hours a day, and then move it to the other, and alternate that way.
With it being portable, we could schedule those two areas. As soon as the power goes off, those people have zero water.
Shana, is there a grant for cutting that stuff back from the infrastructure? Like they did on 57, the arborists come in and cut that stuff back? Does that seem like that would be
Sure, I can
huge?
check into that.
That's what they did on 57, was my understanding, was that was federal money to bring in and cut that off our infrastructure because we were losing power once we came into Philly. I don't know that's a fact, that's what I heard. And I know there was the same gentleman that cut the power back, or the lines back in Wellington Heights as well as going to Cherry Hill. It was the same group of people. And it was one man and his crew. It wasn't like Aspen or anything like that. It was a general crew.
Yeah, I can ask around and
Whether
check
they do
on that.
that or not, but that's just.
Of course, a lot of that's up to the power company and not the water company.
I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with one
Yeah.
right
I
now.
don't know what else.
And that's not gonna fix the problem. We're just gonna help some keep the trees and branches and everything else with all the
Yeah.
cut the power to the water.
All right, to move on following discussion, I will make a motion that we purchase one portable generator for Chestnut Ridge for their pump stations in the amount of, if I can do math, $40,331 and whatever half of 58 cents is.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
And I will note that that would come out of the Cole County reallocation.
Yeah, and with that motion, I would like for the funding to come from Cole County reallocation. And just so you know, and I always say this, coal reallocation is not coal severance, and it can only be used for certain projects, and this happens to be one of those projects that would qualify. All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Bob, I'm sorry, did you? Okay, I apologize, I didn't hear you. Motion passes 3-0. That has been a long time coming, several months. Thank you. Thank you, Mary.
Dave, I just want to say something real quick, and I hope you guys will take it into consideration, the population in which these pumps, and granted, they need water too, the population in which that generator is going to serve versus the population of Beaverton, Hunters Fork, Stringtown, Route 92, that also are going to need to be addressed. There's a lot of residents there that are going to be, that deserve water when it's needed in quality water.
No, I agree, and believe me, I thought about this a lot last night. This one was already in the pipeline before yours got here, and that's why I was concerned about our budget. But Joey, I can tell you personally that I'm not against your project. I just want to make sure. Again, we're coming up on the end of our budget, and I want to make sure that this is the right way to go with the county tax dollars, and if it were the coal reallocation fund, and if that's the case, and we find out that the grant isn't going to be in a timely manner, then we'll revisit it. I assure you.
Well, I'm just listening to her speak, and she had the information you needed when she said the IDH grants don't fund equipment.
Right.
So if they wouldn't help Mary, I'm sure they're not going to help us replace the sand filter.
Yeah. But and we had asked Mary, and she had done that research, and we're asking just get that done and get back to it.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, this has been about a 3 month in the making.
And just
To
to
get
know,
it
the next
finalized.
meeting's the 1st, December 1st, so not in a week.
Regarding the generator, would it be possible, I mean, I don't know what the setup will be, but in the event that the power's not there, would it be possible that that generator could be used for other needs in the county? You know, let's say the power site goes out and we have no radio communications in the county, our generator goes down. We're waiting for a generator to come from Charleston. Would it be possible that that could be used for other critical resources or critical infrastructure in the county?
That would be up to
The PSD?
Chestnut Ridge and the PSD, but I think that we're certainly growing in the relationship and partnership, and maybe go to a PSD meeting or talk to their technicians, and
And I might add, we do have to do some, at the pump stations where this will be used. And in our investigations, we talked to the city of Philippi, who does have some of these portable generators, and decided because of the remoteness in all of our areas that we probably better try to at least get them. So, but we certainly would be willing to share if the setup is there to do it, and if we're not using it.
Right.
At least on my part, I'm only one of 3 people.
right. I understand that.
You do, yes.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's a good thought, and we hope that relationship will take place. All right. C. City of Philippi Covered Bridge Christmas Initiative.
Y'all should be on the line there.
Phil, are you on the line, sir?
Yes, Dave, I'm here.
All right. You want to
Yes,
us your elevator speech?
Absolutely. So since we started the Christmas committee, we've been able to partner with the county, and when the college was there, we partnered with them too, to bring the Christmas celebration to what we've seen in the past 4 or 5 years. And through my tenure as mayor, I've learned that anytime we can partner with the county, especially, things just work out better. And we do draw a lot of people from the county and the parades and the activities that we put on. And we bring in quite a few people each year from other areas, which helps boost our business, not only in Philippi, but in other parts of the county as well. So I'm here today to ask you all if you all would consider continuing that partnership. Since we started, you all helped fund $1,500 to the committee for those celebrations. And through that action, I know that I don't get back with you guys a lot, after the fact. But, you know, we have a great number of high school kids this year that's participating in the play. And we've seen that grow every year with community members and getting our high school kids involved in something else, which is another outlet. We have multiple people that sing in the Christmas concert and come to that. We bring in artists from not only local, but from other places, even as far away as Lewisburg, to participate in the Christmas stroll. So it's just a great month starting now till the end of December. And you all are a huge part of making that happen. And I went on the record before saying that rural is probably the most, one of the most intricate parts of everything that happens, and we appreciate all of his help. So I'm just here this morning to ask you if you all would be able to continue that partnership with us this holiday.
All right, and in the past, for 7 years running, we have supported the Christmas program and the Christmas committee with a donation of $1,500. That said, the Philippi Christmas Committee has requested $1,500 again this year. The city will be contributing $4,500 for a hopeful total of $6,000 to the Christmas Committee to do Christmas activities here in the city of Philippi. Is there a motion on this?
Yeah, I make a motion, we give $1,500 to the Philby Christmas Committee.
I'll second that. We have a motion and a second to fund $1,500 from county contributions to the Philippi Christmas Committee. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes 3-0.
Hey, Phil.
Yes, sir.
Hey, this is Jed. Is there, last year, some of the decorations stayed up well into the month of February. Is there a way that we can coordinate as soon as Christmas is over, after the first of the year, to start taking that down and get the yard cleaned back up?
And you mean
Jed,
the courthouse? Right?
Yeah, the courthouse area.
Yeah, usually what we try to give people up to the second week after the new year, just so. But last year we ran into some unprecedented weather, which kept a lot of people from getting that done, and we eventually did it ourselves. So I will talk to the committee, and if we run into weather issues again this year, we will come as a committee and do it ourselves, and then people can pick up their stuff off us.
Okay, that's good. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
All right. Thanks again, Phil, and we look forward to a festive season here in the city of Philippi.
Well, thank you guys so much, and I will shoot Shayna a copy of all the activities that's going on so she can share it with you all, and hope you all have time to drop by some of them and enjoy it with us.
All right, the county clerk has a question for you.
Okay?
Phil, it's right that we're supposed to contact you at the city office about having a tree put out? Having our own tree put out?
You can contact my sister. She's the one that takes care of that part of it, and I will I'll send Shayna her number.
Okay, because we had some miscommunication with the city office and I was told to contact you.
Yeah, I'll put you in touch with Linda, and then and she'll get a hold of you, and I'll send that number to Shayna.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, Dave, thank you so much.
Thank
all
you.
Of you. Bob, Jed, Dave, thank you all.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You take care.
I'll see you.
All right. 6D, Philippines baseball. Is there anybody representing this request?
What's the request? I'm on board there.
Go ahead.
JD had dropped some paperwork off to me, and I emailed it to Shayna. They're asking for $500 for lumber, plywood, metal roofing, and some like field dressing,
Yes.
field dry
Also,
turf.
we'll ask for a machine later to be able to address all 3 fields as well as take up and do the softball field at the fairgrounds. JD picked up a machine, he sent me a picture of it, great to go. I didn't know we were on the agenda, or I would have brought it to you. I wanna say it was $1,200 to run all fields. You know, I said, I don't know, does whatever it does to the soil. And then he was gonna do all the other fields and, outfield of them to do a turf spray to keep those weeds out. And they're gonna have to do something else now because there's probably 150, 200 geese in every separate field.
Oh, yeah.
You can't even walk, well, you guys know, you can't even walk them. And they're probably gonna ask for some help with something like that. The JD bought a mower himself, the outbuilding himself. He's been mowing all of himself. He put up fence himself. He bought snow fence and put it up himself. And he did all that out of pocket.
Yeah, JD's the new president of the league here, which is, he'll do a great job.
Yeah, he was a great softball coach, you know.
Yeah, he coached, well, high school and AB both,
AB,
so.
yeah.
He's doing a real good job, but there's so much upgrades over there that he's done, just down to the mowing and weed eating that they can't get done. I tried to get that done through community corrections, it never happened. Apparently, if you're in community corrections, you just do what you want. So I think we need to address that as well. They need to be drug tested more often, and if you're put on community corrections to not go to jail, you need to do community corrections.
Yeah.
That's a fact. Not do whatever you want.
Have they visited the city of Philippi since it's?
He has not been there yet.
There's fields owned by the city.
Yeah, he hasn't been there yet. There are other fundraisers they do have planned, to sell the outfield banners. They're going to try to have businesses sponsor the teams, you know, have like, instead of being the Cardinals or the Pirates or whatever. I think they're actually going to look at, and having a business name on the shirts.
Last year we did a sheriff's team and a deputy's team. And like I talked to them, nobody reached out to us from Philippines. They're trying to be one entity, but there's something going on right there. So I'm helping try to get everybody together on the same page. And I knew JD was going to come to you guys with some stuff. Had I known that, I would have brought that as well. But there's a lot of stuff that he's done. And it's girls and boys, and it's not just baseball. I mean, my daughter's up there playing T-ball and pitch, and there's a lot that he's done. There's one set of bleachers over there that like 6 people would set up. Yeah. The dugouts, they were falling in, they took it upon themselves to fix them, and they paid for it themselves. There's just a lot that he's done. They need help. They don't have any money.
So Jed, based on your discussion with JD and what you heard today, do you want to go ahead with this one and then wait and see if there's something else that comes down the picture?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because like I said, what he explained with their other fundraising that they have, this will kickstart what they're looking for. And hopefully with everything else, they won't have to come back or they'll approach the city.
And we know that they don't have any plans for upcoming upgrades of their parks.
As far as we know, from our last 2 meetings with the baseball, no. It'll be able to, we've already run those fields down there. They know outside the fence and other than that, I mean, we need everything, we can get things in there and do it. Doug and then we'll mow with the big John Deere and everything else that he's done, it's knee high.
Oh, I'm sure you do.
That's where community corrections should come in. If you're not going to jail for 5 years and replace with community corrections, do your damn community.
Doing something.
I shouldn't call up there, not because we get 3 people to come meet for an hour and be told I don't have it, but it would have 70-some people on the program.
All right, our 5 minutes on this one's up. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion that we donate $500 to the Philippi Youth Baseball.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion passes 3-0. That'll come out of county donation. Item number 7, Opportunity House Tax Concerns, Matt and Jason Kerner.
And Wendy's on the line too.
Oh, okay. Is there anyone here to represent Opportunity House? Is anyone on the line? One more time, is there anyone on the line from Opportunity House? All right. Guess not. Well, there's I don't know that this was anything we could take action on anyway. It was just a concern about a piece of property that got sold at a tax sale, which we have really no say over. That's between the, well, that's with the state auditor's office. So my suggestion, if you're listening, on behalf of Opportunity House, that you take this matter up with the state auditor's office. All right. Item number 8, Barbour County. Oh, Wendy, are you on the line?
Right now, can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Oh,
Thank
perfect.
you.
Sorry, microphone. Yeah,
Right.
I'm sorry. We were so close and I just did not even think to pop down there. I have Shelby right now in Shelby's office and we are just working away here at the health department this morning. Everything's going well. I can't think of any major updates. Shelby has had several trainings going on and she's getting up to speed on the many different elements of public health nursing. And I'm continuing to work on our grant agreements with the state and make sure there's a couple grants that the state hasn't paid yet. There's like a problem at finance. They assure the health departments that there's no problem with the money, but that there is a backlog of people to process the grants at the State Department level. But that's generally what I'm working on. And then we have a few year-end reports that we have to take care of for our local center for health department at the state. And Rochelle has reports for threat prep that have to be done by the end of the year. And then let Shelby introduce herself.
Hi, everybody. I'm Shelby Stoniger. Like Wendy said, I'm the new public health nurse here at the health department. I've been, like she said, working on the different programs that we are offering. And I actually just came from bedside nursing. I've been a bedside nurse for about a year and a half. I just graduated in 2024 in May with my associate's degree. And so I'm looking forward to getting everything moving in the right direction, learning about the different programs, trying to do more outreach. And that's one of our big goals, is to get out in the community more and see what the needs are in Barbour County. Did you have any specific questions for me?
Anybody have any questions?
I don't. Thank you for what you're doing, though. I will tell you that.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Well, we appreciate both of you and your efforts and kind of looking at modernizing our health department and bringing it around. Wendy, your list of accomplishments so far, we just don't have time to go through them all with your tenure there at the health department, your short time, but I just want to say thank you so much, and the commission does have all those things in front of us, and again, we appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate your support very, very much. The open communication policy we have has made my life just so much easier on my side to get things done. So Shanna and Kim, if she's in the room and can hear me, I appreciate you guys like you wouldn't believe. And our new local health officer, board approved, will be at the Monday night meeting. I believe that's December, the 1st?
Well, we look forward to that, and if he happens to be there or you happen to see him, give him our thanks for being willing to do this.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's going to be a great partnership, and we've got all the right people in place to do all the right things. So again, thank you guys for how you've helped us.
Yeah, I've known Dr. Madden for many, many years, and I have a lot of respect for him as a physician and as a surgeon. So thank him on our behalf, please.
Yes, and this is probably like boring for everybody else, Dave, but he remembers you.
Oh, well, I hope it's in a positive way.
Yeah, well, I hope that, yeah, I'm glad you still said nice things.
All right, and that said, is that all you got for us, Wendy?
Yeah, that's all we have. Thanks so much for letting us join late.
Okay, hold on. We have Commissioner Richardson has something, and I want you to stay on for the vote on your new board member.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, thank you.
Wendy, thanks. I don't have to tell you, but you were thrown into a blast furnace here a while back. Thank you for what you're doing.
I really like what I'm doing. It's good, and we are in a way better place. Like, we are in a way better place. So, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, that said, we have an appointment that we waited for Wendy to join us for. There is a nomination for the appointment of Mr. Rich Mace to serve on the Health Department Board, representing small business in the county.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of appointing Rich Mace to the Barbour County Board of Health signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 3-0. All right.
Thanks for going back to that.
Oh, no problem. Thanks
All
again,
right.
Wendy.
Have a happy Thanksgiving, everyone. We're going to hang up.
You
All
too.
righty. Bye-bye.
Bye
Good
now.
luck, Shelby. Apparently that's it on the phone. All right, where are we at? Item number 8, Barbour County OEM 911 EMS. So Aaron, let's start with you. You have anything today?
We've got nothing.
Okay, thank you.
Nothing for us.
All right. Bill?
One thing I have is the tow rotation application.
Come up front, please.
So, have a application here for call and service center for the South District tow rotation. Attached, you've got numbers of current tows in North and South District over the last year to date. So,
All right, and this is January 1st to date.
no, this is
12
last year to
months,
date.
12 months rolling.
12 months
Okay.
to date.
Okay. And
And that was how many, Dylan?
What is it?
The toes? About 1,000, I think you told me,
No, about 400.
from last year?
Yeah, from year to date, north and south,
so looks like,
483.
483 total, yes.
yep, Thorns did 315 in the north rotation, 26 tows per month.
Roughly,
And-
yeah.
Roughly, yeah. And Ryan's did 158 total, or an average of 13 tows per month in his rotation. And then you, Mr. Collins, would you like to speak?
There's nothing really, I mean, that I can or have to say that will motivate either way, I don't suppose. I mean, more the better when it comes to safety as far as I'm concerned. And that's about it.
So, I have a question, sir. If I recall, a year or so ago, we were here in this same situation. You had applied for a position on the rotation, isn't that correct?
No.
You didn't apply?
It's been more than a year.
How long has that been?
2021, I think it was.
Oh,
1 or 2.
okay.
I'm pretty sure
Gosh,
it's
time really
2021.
flies. I apologize.
I've had some things happen in life, and
Okay.
So,
But I know we went through a lot of legwork and a lot of discussion and reviewing policies, and we were like, my concern is we were here once and things happen and you had to leave. So we have an established rotation. I just want to how do we make sure that's not going to happen again?
I live here. I live in Barbour County now. I own a home here, I own a business here.
And how long have you been here?
I've been here for, business-wise, I've been here since January.
January.
23rd. I've been a resident of Barbour County for almost 2 years.
Okay. And Dylan, in considering this application, would it be in the South District, or how would that
Based on
be?
the geographic location of his shop, yes, it would be in South District.
And the South District had 158 total tows. So I see Mr. Ryan's here. I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
Has there been any, well, let me ask, I'm going to ask Dylan this question
Go
first.
ahead.
Has there been have you, as a assistant fire chief and 911 director, have you identified needs for another tow service in that rotation, or times that Mr. Ryan's record service couldn't keep up with the needs in that district?
From the fire aspect, that's an easy answer. He only tows with Philippi Fire on a little stretch of Route 92 between
never thought of that.
38th and the White Oak Road. So from the fire aspect, no, I really couldn't answer that. But from the 911 aspect, outside of a vacation here and there, I really don't know the time that we've called and he hasn't. I mean, maybe one or two, but it's not like a overly exuberant. We call and he doesn't answer. And typically when he is unavailable, Thorns is able to come from the north and they're able to work together and handle needs efficiently.
That's all I have. Anybody?
Yeah, I have some questions. I'm sitting here with no skin in the game at all. Zero. My main concern is not about the two people that service the county. No concern. It's public safety. This falls under public safety. Okay? You have two fire companies a couple miles apart, and I'm glad they're there. Believe me, I'm glad they're there. You have local police, you have city police, you have sheriff's department, and you have state troopers working the county. It's all public safety. You have the ambulances that run 24/7. It's all about public safety. Okay, this to me falls under public safety. Okay, you have people that go on vacation, you have people that get sick, you have people that have breakdowns in their equipment. The other week, when we had that little bit of snow, I sat and listened to the radio, and that thing never stopped. Never stopped. I mean, never stopped. Okay, that was just the first little snow of the year. Last year with the winter we had, a lot of snow and ice, it was never stopped. Okay, my concern is the safety of the people of Barbour County and people that drive through the county, to make sure that we can take care of them in the event of an accident. Many accidents, it's more than one car involved. Okay, you might need 2 tows, 3 tows, whatever. The other, a while back out in 57, what was it, 5 of them?
14.
Oh, okay, well I was off a little bit on that. Okay, 14. That's my concern. I don't see, is it any cost to the company, the county, by putting on a third person in rotation? Is there any cost?
No.
There's no cost. Is there any downside under the heading of public safety?
From the county aspect, no. I mean, it might be a little tough for business owners, but from our aspect, I mean, it's just another phone call.
Okay. There's where I'm coming from sitting here. And I'm just one person.
Could I speak, Dave?
Yeah.
These numbers don't lie. I mean, 158 in a year, that's in the CAD, you know, that's logged in by a 911 operator. Everybody in this room right here has an income. Retirement, paycheck, whatever. Brett, if you found out tomorrow that you were gonna get your pay cut in half, could you survive? My bills are based off what I'm used to, and that's 158 calls a year. If they add into the rotation list, that's going in half. So, to address what you're saying, Bob, I understand about your public safety comment, but if you start adding all these towing companies in the county, that 158 is gonna come down to 75 for me. You're gonna starve everybody out. And what you're gonna come to is you're not gonna have any towing companies in the county because they can't survive. So then, Scott is sitting along the road at 1 o'clock in the morning. We're talking about public safety. He's sitting along the road at 1 o'clock in the morning with an arrest that they just made, and they're waiting for a tow truck out of Clarksburg or Elkins to come pick their car up because all these towing companies were added and just went out of business. His safety, he's sitting along the road waiting 45 minutes to an hour and a half for a tow truck. Where if we were still in existence, 20 minutes and we're done now. So that's how you gotta look at that on my aspect. I'm getting a pay cut.
I understand.
If it wasn't for my vehicle, my equipment that's already paid for, I wouldn't be able to survive right now with 158 calls. You know, I would like to update my equipment, but I can't. So that's my aspect of how I'm looking at it.
I appreciate you saying that, man. I was looking at it from a county
Right,
perspective.
but it is a pay cut for
And
me.
I'm behind you 100% on that.
Eddie, I gave Matt about 2 minutes there. Would you like?
It's the same thing. If we don't have enough to survive, we're gone. I mean, I do have payments. I've got newer equipment on both my trucks are 22s. So I have payments on them. If I got cut, because what I see coming if this does happen, is this will all go back into general rotation countywide instead of South District and North District. So, you know, he can't survive one, he's gotta do something, so therefore, he's gonna ask that this opens up the whole county, which in turn, either way you go about it, if I get called on 33 in his area because we open the whole county up, if I do that, it's taking the firemen longer to get out of there. There's a problem there. They're gonna be out there another 20 minutes. If he has to go to Field Tree where we go all the time, it takes us 25, 30 minutes to get there.
Yeah, Field Tree
If you
works.
go that far, they're tied up longer there. There is a problem there. I think this split in the county is a great thing, but if we take any of that away from either side, we're not gonna be able to survive. If I can't survive, I'm gonna sell, I'm gonna leave, I'm done. I'm not gonna feed the company what I do have to try to survive and barely get by. I'll quit. So, bottom line, like you said, we'll end up with none. Another thing, we get probably 20–25% of our tows. He and I both, we've talked about it. We do not get paid. People don't have insurance. They'll say, you can have my car. So what's an old car worth?
So with that being said, my tow number just went down to 125
Exactly.
a year.
Yes.
Versus 150.
It hurts a lot. I mean, if we got paid for everything we towed, we'd be driving new trucks all the time. We wouldn't be, but we don't. It's tough to make it. You gotta be careful as a businessman what you do, who you contribute to, what you do all the way around to be able to make your ends meet. If you don't, it's that close right now. So that's what I say. If we have another truck in this county system, we may not be here at all. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell for me.
Mr. Collins?
Well, I have two trucks that are paid for. They're older, they're reliable, they're well taken care of, well maintained, so I don't have the payment there. I kind of get what they're saying, but at the same time, you got the public safety. There's times when, and I know, don't mean any disrespect towards you guys or not, nothing. But there are times that I've listened to the scanner and Ryan's recording's gonna make it. That's just, that's how it goes sometimes. When you're out on one call, you can't send somebody there, so you take somebody from, I'm not trying to open the county up. It is, if you need me somewhere, sure, I'll go there. I'm licensed and insured to run anywhere in the state. I can open up a yard 15 counties from here. It's not gonna affect that big. You know, I've got payments and stuff from I've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars on my business as well. I've still got payments. You know, I'm making it without being on rotation. Their, you know, owner's request or whatever, I did 7 calls. The night we had the first snow. 7 calls that they were customer request. They called me specifically. Wasn't even on rotation. I want to be able to open myself up to where I can be on rotation, provide service. You know, if anybody in this room's kid was upside down in the river or over an embankment bleeding and they couldn't get you out, and the other guys couldn't be there, you'll get Jimmy with a tow chain, $20 a case of beer, go get him. Ain't gonna happen. More is better.
Well, years ago, the policy, I sat at the comm center with these two gentlemen back here for about 3 hours one night, revamping the policy that's the old policy, not the current policy. And in that policy, it stated that if someone wanted to be on the rotation, they had to be in business for 1 year in the county. And there was 2 things that brought us to that. 1, to make sure they were going to stay here. And 2, to make sure that they had the knowledge, the equipment, and everything. Because Bob's public safety comments, if you have a tow truck operator that's new in the business, not saying that you are or these guys, but if they don't hook a car right, you've got a fireman over the hill or a deputy or a state policeman, EMS over the hill behind that car, something's not hooked right, it breaks loose, guess what? There it goes. That has been taken out of the new policy, which I'm not sure why. I wasn't involved in that. I'm a fan of that because you know what you're going to get after that year.
So I have one more question. It just keeps like a neon sign in my head. Is there an opportunity for, in the rotation, and you oversee it, you oversee the policy, I'm asking you directly, not any of the operators. Is there an opportunity for those occasions to have a backup? So like, if it's snowing, Ed's on the call, Matt's on the call, we need 3 trucks, that he's in that rotation for maybe like the year that Jed's talking about, and then we revisit it after it's proven that he can work with anyone, not just Mr. Collins, can work with 911, can provide a safe service, and be available when they're needed, and have an opportunity to prove that. But as a backup call.
Currently, no, but the tow policy, I'm fairly certain is due to be reviewed and reapproved this year, because it's supposed to be approved every 2 years. I wouldn't be opposed to adding that in. I mean, just because the call volume might not be there 2 months out of the year, we might have the worst winter on record this year, and there might be 700 tows in the month of January, and they don't have anywhere to put them. There's always the possibility. So that could always be added in. I don't know if I would necessarily be opposed to that. We'd have to work out some logistic things of how that works, but it could be discussed most definitely.
Yeah. and this is really relevant or not to this particular case, but our job as commissioners is not to deter business from coming into the county. And it's not to deter competition, but it's also not to put somebody that's established out of it. And I don't like being in this position, to be honest with you. I mean, if this was any other business, he could set up, hang out a shingle and they go at it, but for some reason, and I get it, public safety is the reason this falls under the commission, and
So I'm tickled to death that this is the county commission's code policy, and this is your decision to make.
well,
One more thing, can I make a suggestion, Dave?
yes.
I'm not bragging because Eddie and I led up the way the rotation list is right now, but you can check with 911, police officers. This is the smoothest the rotation list has ran. No, there's no drama, there's no complaining, blah, 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 blah. It's no secret. I started out my tow career with Eddie. You know, I drove for Eddie, and then we went our separate ways. Eddie never bucked me when I tried to get into business, you know. And this is nothing against, you know, Jason. I've towed cars to Jason's business before he had his tow trucks, you know. I'm trying to look out for my finances, okay? This is nothing personal against Jason. But with this being said, I feel like Eddie and I have a mature business working relationship with the county commission, the 911 center. I have no problem with creating a alternate towing list that Jason would be on. I get what Bob's saying. You know, that night that we had that freak snow, I mean, we were humping. We were crazy. It was nuts.
And we each had
We,
two trucks going.
we kept up. But the 14 cars that were piled up down 57, we couldn't keep up. I couldn't even get to them because of the ice.
Right. And
I
those,
took care of all of them, and it was done in a very quick amount of time as you were there.
I think the longest thing was waiting for icing on off.
We had to wait for a big wrecker to come from out of town to get the truck.
so I think an opportunity in those public safety events
Like,
might not be a bad idea.
I have no problem with him being added to an alternate list that would be used as a backup. They have numerous towing companies out of county already on the list that they call on.
I mean, we have a heavy wrecker rotation that, you know, 'cause as of right now, there's not enough business in the county to justify in the county without paying for a heavy wrecker
Yeah.
to survive. I mean, Matt got it, you know,
Yeah,
it's hard.
$175,000 truck, and it lasted about 18 months at my house, and I could tell that it was going bankrupt.
I mean,
The heavy towing business is not here.
Jason's got,
I'm in the process of buying for the ton. You know, I mean, it says in the policy, no more than 2 towing companies per division. north or
District,
south.
yeah.
So, I'd be the second for the south, you know.
So based on the current policy.
I mean, I'm not here to create drama or problems. I'm here to create and make a living, provide for my family just as well as anybody else. I pay my dues, my taxes, everything else the same as everybody else has.
And I
So,
certainly
if
appreciate
my
it.
dollar's not as green in the county, then
I understand.
Yeah, question, Dylan, and this is sort of piggybacks on the back of Dave. You can educate me on this. So, whatever, there's a need for a record, 2 in the morning, a blazing storm. You make a call to whomever, no answer. What happens next?
per the policy, if they don't answer a call,
I mean, whatever, they're on vacation, they're sick, they're,
Okay, so-
whatever their situation.
let's go with unavailable, because they told us they're unavailable. That's an easier scenario, because if they don't answer a call after so many times, then disciplinary action, I guess it's better for litigation, so forth.
So you call this guy right here.
Right. So
I think that's what Dave was getting at over there. That's what he was saying.
I'll say eventually, if something happens and we can't get hold of Eddie or Matt or vice versa. It's in the South District, can't get hold of Ryan's, we call Eddie, can't get hold of Eddie, he can't take it. We start looking for tinctures, you know, whatever, colonial court, somebody from up that way. So, and state code, if there's a vehicle accident and they wreck and say, hey, I want to call the service center. As long as there's no immediate hazard, the law enforcement, the fire commander needs that vehicle moved. By law, they're to allow that owner's request of whatever they want. That's your right as a vehicle owner to choose to tow it, as long as it's not creating a just hazard. If it's on stop in the middle of a blind turn and there's a foot and a half on the road, nobody can stop. Law enforcement, fire commander, whoever can request whatever they want.
So just to clarify my statement, and I think what Bob's asking, if Matt's at deer camp and there's 2 accidents, you call Eddie, Eddie goes to the first one, then what happens? I know he's got opportunity for a second truck, but what would 911 do? And then my question is, could we amend the policy so that in that situation, we use the truck that's available?
Yeah, I mean, most definitely we could amend the policy. It's a duty review anyway, so we can make that happen. Very simple. Fortunately, I don't know that we ran into that scenario where, at least I can't remember, where they haven't been able, because they both have 2 trucks. They've got more than just them that operate for them, so they've got some help. But I mean, if that hypothetically did happen, depending on where it is, the law enforcement officer on scene or the fire commander, depending on whatever it was, we would tell them, hey, we've attempted Brian's legitimate dorms, they're unavailable, what's your wishes? They're going to say contact Director Al Harrison, Taylor, Tucker, Preston, wherever.
Well, to me, a situation, a policy change like that would cover all the bases that the commission has brought up. You've got the 1 year prove yourself and the opportunity to back up what's going on in those bad snow days. And you've got improved public safety, increased public safety and response time for our first responders as much as anyone else. Get them safe at the scene and off the scene as quick as possible.
One thing that I'm 100% against is opening the county back up to a county-wide donation.
Yeah, me
Because
too.
if you have ever stood on Route 57 at 7 o'clock in the morning,
It's dangerous.
don't plan on doing that for a while. It's not a fun experience. So if you've got to wait for, and vice versa, I'm sure the corridor is just as bad. If they've got to wait for a record to come from Philly on the corridor, it's not a pleasant experience. That's where time is definitely the essence. But
All right, so is there a motion on the current application?
I make a motion on the current application based on what you just said, Dave. It would be the first alternate. So that there's always 2 companies within the county operating.
So, I think we need a policy amendment before we do that.
And that's fine. And we can even put a stipulation, 1 year probationary period.
Yeah.
And see how it goes.
Yeah, and then
They call Matt, and for whatever reason can't be, they call Mr. Collins, and he don't answer, and maybe he's not the right guy.
Good thought.
Can I say something else? You had mentioned something earlier about, something about being over the hill or, the firemen or whatever it was about the safety aspect of it, like experience, I guess it was.
Mhm.
I've been in the trucking and towing industry for 29 years. I've been a Class A CDL driver for 29 years. I've been a business owner since 2011. Pretty sure and I'm not being smart, it classifies as experience.
Well, and I wasn't singling you out or anybody else out. I was trying to explain why that year was put in there, was for that.
I thought you were meaning like you'd have to have at least a year experience. I just wanted to put it out there that I've got experience.
Yeah,
there's been other operators we've had here that's, I've seen them flip cars over before in the middle of the road, and they end up against the back of the sheriff's cruiser because the car takes off rolling down the middle of the road and slams into the back of the car, and we're just gonna stand there and like, oh.
Yeah, that's to protect the county from Dave buying a wrecker and going in the wrecker business, because I don't know anything about it. I would be dangerous.
I think it's a fun thing to do, so I'm gonna buy one and jump that. Yeah, no, that's what that's for.
All right. Jed, your final thoughts. You've got the floor.
Should you choose the policy amendment, to work with the county attorney to get that squared away. I would like to, it's a simple amendment. I'd like to think that I can have something ready for the first December meeting, but that's probably gonna be a stretch for Thanksgiving and all that coming up.
Sure.
So if you wanted to shoot, I say, I don't know that that has to be read, it's not an ordinance, it's a policy, so it can adjust, you can adjust on the fly as you choose. Ideally, you know, if we're gonna amend this, I would like to do the same thing that you guys did when you first set this up and sat down with those two as well as Jason and any of you three that so choose to be there and either have a work session or have something, you know, if you guys all three wanna be there, you can have a work session and crack it out, or if one of you wants to come, whatever you wanna do. But I would like to go through it with all three of them and whoever wants to come and get what we want, make it work for all of us, and make it happen. And I think we could definitely make that happen by the third Friday meeting of December.
I personally would like to see a committee of some sort for this certain thing, made up of fire chiefs of every district, every law enforcement, as well as us, along with 911. I think there needs to be a committee to cover this, to show their concerns and how things are going, this, that, and the other. I really think that would be helpful. I believe that's the way it is in Elkins. I'm not sure. Somebody told me that at least the fire department chiefs had some say in all that. I think it's a good idea.
I do too. Jason just said that that's the way it's done in Randolph County.
Going forward, I mean, Harrison County Commission has an employee that his job is the tow compliance officer. He has a vehicle, he responds to every tow in the county, traffic stops, vehicle accidents, which granted, there's a lot more tow companies in Harrison County than there is Barbour County. And there's a lot more population, vehicle accidents, traffic stops. Well, he enforces that ordinance to a T. When you get out of the truck, you better have your reflective vest on. The tow company's responsible for cleanup. I don't think we need to go that crazy with it.
No.
But I've never inspected. I mean, I couldn't tell you if Matt has a Class A, B, C extinguisher on his truck, or Jason has 3 safety triangles in the compartment of his wrecker. I mean, I don't inspect him. I trust him. I'll let him do the thing. But that may be something that we probably should look at going forward. You know, if we add more, and as we add more alternates as things progress, we should.
All right, so, Edward, your recommendation during this policy adjustment, or?
Yeah, I think so. I think something needs to be done in that order that gives people that are actually on the scene, see what's going on, this, that, and the other, need to have a little bit of input in what we're doing.
Yeah, I think we get, law enforcement.
Representative from each fire department, or representative from
ambulance.
Each law enforcement and ambulance.
Everybody that's gonna be on the scene every time.
And eyes and ears right there of everything.
Yep. And what do you think about dispatch?
Yep.
Can you put that together? All right. Great discussion. I appreciate it. I appreciate you coming, and I appreciate you wanting to do business in Barbour County. And Matt and Eddie, thanks for all you do. Eddie saved me more than once, and I do appreciate you guys. And hopefully we can figure out something that keeps our people safe and works for everyone. All right, we'll get back together and see if we can't knock this thing out. Thank you. At this time, I gotta take a break. Too much coffee. So in item number 9, the USDA letter, do you want to run that, Jed?
I can.
It's up to you. Or I'll be right back. Either one.
Is this you, Rhett?
Come on, Rhett.
I can't get out of bed.
I have to type it up.
You what?
Oh, yeah, come on, I've typed it up.
Go back.
I'll come back to it. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Well, good to see you. Yeah, you. Just with the hell hand basket.
So there's just a guy walking.
Well, we already have. Which needs to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who's next? USDA sheriff. Where'd he go?
Who?
Sheriff. Or Matt, or Scott.
My biggest thing now
Are they out there?
See if they're out there, Bill.
we're good company.
There's one around here.
Well, the funny thing is that Scott's going to big take so I show up, everybody else away.
We're still muted.
All right, let's come back to order.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yes,
Thank you.
Thanks for the job you're doing. It's thankless, isn't it? And it drives you nuts, but we appreciate it.
That's what we're here for.
Thank you, Rick.
We signed up for that, Brett.
Yeah, we volunteered.
Be careful. You're gonna be in the woods this week. Seriously.
See you, buddy.
Okay, we'll see.
Don't get in trouble. I really
Yeah,
do.
Dave, don't tell any constituents where you're hunting.
Okay.
Okay, so,
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's move on to 10.
Yeah.
while we're on to,
All right, Mr. Talbot, it's your turn. Item number 10.
Man, you already skipped all in?
We did because the sheriff stepped out for a minute.
I'm number 11, I'm number 10.
Oh,
You're 10 on
I
our
have
list.
you as 10.
But you're number 1 in our hearts.
Yeah, you're number 1.
Don't be bullshitting there.
It says number 1.
Well,
there
It
is
is
a
number
standard
one.
amendment after printing that off.
Careful, buddy. Are you okay?
I'm stand up here.
Okay.
okay.
Gotta quit drinking.
Okay. I want to congratulate you all on getting this thing. It's real nice.
Use it.
Hey, two things that you're not going with it. You're not bringing them up there to
stand here. They need to be here, and you need a microphone so you can hear what they're saying. And do not record in your live stream. You got their back, I think you're back there somewhere it is. But I got their back to them, and right here I can't hear you guys. The live streaming, I think, is really good. You know, I've been here quite a few meetings.
Okay.
And it's put in the paper probably 3 months after you had a meeting. And you don't put it all in there, which I disagree with. But with live streaming, anybody that gets on there can hear. I want them to be able to hear. I can see you. I can see you guys weren't here the last meeting. I can see that, but I couldn't understand what these two were saying.
Well, the special meeting,
Yes, that was it.
we tried out a new sound and it did not go well. So we learned from a mistake on that meeting.
Well, I appreciate it.
So hopefully we have a different mechanism of sound this meeting. So when it concludes, hopefully it is much better.
Okay, and now another thing, I like to have a microphone on this, and I'd like each of you all to have a pen mic on you, so who can hear you. Now, you talk real low, call time low, but I don't know what you said. Jeff, he was talking pretty loud, except one time. He leaned back in his chair, and I couldn't hear him sitting right there. One lady that stood over here to begin with, she started out loud, and she went down, and I don't know what she said at the end. And that's where she needed to be up here on a mic, so people can hear. Anybody in here, or that's watching it, be able to hear them. I don't know what else to say, but I really think that mic pinned on each of you would be a big plus.
All right.
Because you turn your head one way, if you got there's a mic right in the middle, I think, but you turn your head, you don't hear. Or over here, you can't hear over there. Or a lot of times I can hear Bob, but he's not loud up there. I don't understand what he's saying. I've been watching those on TV.
We appreciate that.
Well, that's, and I appreciate you having it on there. And I would like you to put it in the paper, advertise that you're doing it, so people get more on it.
You mean the live stream and advertise that we're doing it?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Like myself, and well, it's getting bad weather. A lot of people can't be here. A lot of people that are working can't be here. So if you're live streaming it, and they can understand you, they can, when they get home from work, they can watch it, or that's my opinion on it. So,
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, Dave.
Thank you, sir.
you got any questions for me?
I don't. I appreciate that you're using the live stream, and we'll continue to work on our sound, and you let us know how we're doing.
I do, and I've been broadcasting or whatever you want to call it. Anybody I talk to, I tell them they need to live stream it, and they get on YouTube. And the picture comes real good. You got a camera here, and then you got a camera that shows everybody in the back. And you see all that.
Good.
Dave's our hype man. Yeah, he's like he's the Barbour County modern day Don King, baby. He's the promoter.
All right, thank you all.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Dave.
Appreciate you coming in today. All right, we're going back up to item number 9, USDA letter of conditions for sheriff cruiser grant.
So back in March 15th of 2024 meeting, we had the public hearing for this application. Time lapse, funding availability was not with USDA on the community facilities grant program. And finally, after the government shut down and opened back up, we got notice that we can pursue the letter, the various forms that get adopted. And those include the request for obligation of funds, letter of intent to meet conditions, operating budget, community facilities grant agreement, assurance agreement, certification regarding debarment, certification regarding drug-free workplace. So those would all be adopted into the minutes. There's still some processes on the USDA side before funding gets released, but it's definitely a step in a direction for additional cruiser funding. So, and the amount of this award is, here. Should have had that noted here, but the amount of the USDA Community Facilities Grant Award is $11,300.
Just a motion to adopt, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, I'll make a motion to adopt the conditions of Sheriff's Cruiser Grant through the U.S. Department of Agriculture in the amount of $11,300, and also enter into the minutes all the forms required to adopt this grant, these grant conditions. Yeah, looks like I've got some more signing to do. So I'll make that motion.
I'll second, Dave.
We have a motion and a second to adopt the USDA grant letters and conditions and forms for the sheriff's cruiser. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes 3-0.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, several signatures. All right, glad I brought a pen. Item number 11. Consider approving attorney review of Barbour County Fairground deeds.
Okay, that's mine, Dave. I had attorney Triplet and Triplet from Elkins read the deed here a while back. I sat there with him, and it was mentioned, I think, by you or Mr. Stoller here to have a synopsis done on it for all to see. And I talked with him this week. He said he'd be more than happy to do that, and I tried to get a cost out of him. He told me he don't expect it would exceed $400, but he don't expect it would even be $400. And I said, that's fine. He said he will give a synopsis of everything having to do with that deed from when the county acquired it to currently. Make a motion that we allow up not to exceed $400 to get a synopsis of the fairground deed.
So, in should we consider using the attorneys that we have on retainer? We have our prosecuting attorney who has reviewed the deed, and we also have Johnny Brown. Yeah,
Fulton Fowler, Flanagan, Brown, Co.
Yeah.
Wow, thank you. I appreciate that. So my thought is there a requirement that we use them for?
No, and we reach out to Fulton Fowler as needed. So, I mean, there's not an agreement in place that we have to go to them initially.
Okay. All right. Joe, thoughts?
What is our end goal or end result for this? That's my question. I'm not against it. I just want to know what we're shooting.
Is that a question to me?
Well, anybody. What are we shooting?
Okay. Good question. Great question. We'll go backwards a little bit. And understand this has been the case for many, many, many years. Whenever someone runs for county commission, number one topic, the fairground. Okay? Hundreds and hundreds of times. And you may think I'm making those numbers up, but I'm probably underestimating it a little bit. After knocking on 9,000 doors, I talked to a lot of people. Number one question people asked me, number one, above anything else, was the fairground. The most underutilized property in the county. Okay, you have one event out there a year, one big event, you have the fair, which I'm all in favor of the fair. I think it's a great event. Has to be a lot more events out there. Has to be a lot more family events out there, different types of events. Well, I was told, well, it's in the deed, you can't do this. It's in the deed, you can't do that. It's in the deed if you never have a fair, it goes back to the postings, the property. It's in the deed, you can't have this. The deed says you can't. I thought, holy hell, that deed has a lot in it. So I went to an attorney. Well, I had 5 people read the deed before I went to an attorney, and all 5 said the same thing. And these are people that handle deeds on a regular basis. So I went to an independent attorney, which I paid for out of my own pocket, to read the deed. He said, you tell me what it says. 40 years experience. He said, well, okay, I'll read it to you. I'll tell you what it all says. And what he told me, all the things that I was told was in the deed, is not in the deed. So I will have him do a synopsis of the deed, and I'll present it, and we can move forward from there to look at having more different types of events for all the people of Barbour County to enjoy. Because it is property for the county. It's county property that the county commission oversees for the people of Barbour County to enjoy.
So what discrepancies are we specifically looking at? In the perception of the deed and what you anticipate will come out of this?
Well, I know what will come out of it, because we've already sit down. One thing it says, it's in the deed, that the postings put in the deed, that you can never allow alcohol on that property. That's not true.
I think it says sale, doesn't it?
It says cannot be sold. But I was always told cannot be on that property. Okay? Cannot be sold. Okay? Things like if you never have a fair, the property gets given back. You know, that's not true. There's other things, a number of smaller things in the deed that says, well, you know, this and that and that and this. What happened in the deed? The original deed had between, and I don't know all their names, but the Postmans, Mr. and Mrs. Poston, while they're alive. You can't have this. You can't do this. You can't do that. There has to be a big sign put up front. Just a bunch of different things. They then, at a later date, which will have all the dates, they added, while their 4 children are alive, they added that on to protect their children. You can't do this, you can't do that. That's where all the stipulations come in. Well, the last one died about 6 or 7 years ago. I have the dates, there was 4. I might have the dates of death of all 4. Well, like the attorney told me, anything that was in that deed is gone. And I want to make the public, the taxpayers of Barbour County, know exactly what's in the deed. Okay? So that we can look at other events to have at that fairgrounds. To bring people into the county. To help generate some income out there. So a big thing would be a wine and cheese festival. If you've ever been to one. Huge. Huge. People come from all over. Okay? I'm not a drinker. Okay? But you could have craft beer festival. You could have chili cook-offs. There's a lot of things that you could do out there for everybody for the county. The fair doesn't do anything for me. I'm not a fair guy. Okay, but that I'm certainly all for it. It does for a lot of other people. Okay? A wine and cheese festival would be something that would be of interest to me and a lot of other people. So that's my end game here, to work together with everybody in the county to utilize that fairground for everybody in the county and adjoining counties. It's just been too much mystery of what the deed says. Oh, another thing I was told. The deed says you can't build you can't build anything permanent out on 250 where original farmer's market was gonna be. What's in the deed you can't. Well, no, it's not. So just things like that, just to clarify
I didn't
things.
hear that way.
Yeah, I don't think I heard that one, but, okay. Good, give me your question, there's the answer, what do you got?
Well, I mean, you and I, Jamie, when he was still here, we had looked at, you know, like some, artists to bring in, you know, for a concert. But our main hangup was the alcohol aspect of it. That has a lot to do with how you promote, who's going to come, you know. So it might not be a bad idea to start from scratch and see where we're at. I mean, it may not even be a possibility, but it might be.
Well,
But
the
I guess
other
we don't
week, I
know.
know some people want to have a wedding reception there from Barbour County. No, you can't, go somewhere else. Well, that's not right. I'm sorry, it's not right.
But, can I add to that? We didn't say that they couldn't, we just said we couldn't allow alcohol.
Okay, well,
Right.
because they asked.
I mean, they
asked.
could have had it.
Yeah, well, they asked,
Right.
Many wedding receptions I've been to, there was alcohol.
Right.
Even simple champagne toast.
Yeah, no, I get it.
That's alcohol.
One, two, I mean, there you go, poof, gone.
Yeah. Drew?
I was gonna say, I don't know if you do it with this request, if you just want the synopsis, but I mean, specific legal questions to ask are gonna be, in the original deed, the concern is, of course, it says can't sell alcohol, and if it is sold, upon the payment of, I believe, $45,000, that the entire fair, including all appurtenances and construction, revert to whoever holds that interest. So that was in the original deed, and that's always been the concern, is that that passed to others. There is a later deed that Shane and I had reviewed in connection with some grants, that there had to be some conveyances and some changes of it, which makes the change Bob referenced about the children, and at the time we looked at it, we also need absolute confirmation if that's the applicable term, and 100% that every heir of the Postons is deceased,
Right.
which we didn't have.
Yeah.
So, you know, because you just, with that specter of somebody being able to come in with 45, you serve alcohol, there's alcohol is sold on the property, and some person shows up with 45 grand in hand and says this fairground's mine, and then you've got however many years of litigation is the main concern. So that's what we're looking at.
Yeah, and the other thing you gotta look at, you know, not only does the commission have hundreds of thousands of dollars invested in that property, but the fair board and every other organization that steps foot on there, the FFA, the 4-H, the livestock. You know, there's a lot of players that have a lot of invested interest in this property. So, I mean, it would definitely, it's gotta be correct.
And to Dave's
Nothing can be left for interpretation.
And to Dave's question, that's why I definitely suggest it go to, it can be Mr. Triplett, no opinion on which counsel you use, but it should be an opinion by somebody that regularly practices in real estate, and they need to have a definite opinion on all the legal questions, tying it to their, if anything would go south with the opinion, it needs to be tied to their malpractice insurance.
And he already said that, his name would be put on it for insurance.
Yeah.
We already covered that.
So you definitely want to run it through civil counsel, through civil counsel.
Yeah. And there again, it's not a case I'm looking for wild drunken parties.
Yeah,
It's not about that. You know, I've been to a lot of fairgrounds around where at the gate, you gotta show your ID and they give you a wristband. It's fenced in, you can't get in, can't get out unless you have a wristband. You know, if there's alcohol. With a wedding, I don't know how you really do it. But it's not a case where every weekend there's a big party out there. Like you said, concerts. These are things that the public threw at me, what they would like to see. It's not about what Bob Richardson wants. I said I would take the task of South.
And like I said,
it's what the public wants.
There's a lot of risk out there for little rewards, but I mean, if it's allowable, it's allowable. It's just, that's always been the concerns, that diversionary interest.
Right. Yeah.
Well, that's all the things that, extra duties that come with being the chair of this commission. I get the right to speak my mind probably more than I would if I was sitting in the other two chairs, and I'm going to take the opportunity to do that. the Poston family donated a beautiful piece of property to the county to put on a fairgrounds. It was where Mr. Poston sold horses and raised horses and had horse races. And he was very proud of that. And I think passing that property along was a legacy for Mr. Gordon Poston and what he stood for in Barbour County. His wish that there not be alcohol and those kind of things on there aren't lost with me. Whatever the deed says, I have a concern with that. I also have a concern with alcohol and children mixing, and we do a lot of work to try to keep our kids out of trouble and provide safe environments for them. And I can tell you right now, no matter what that deed says, David Strait will never vote for alcohol at the fair, during the fair, while those kids are up there with their animals and those sort of things. David Strait will never vote for alcohol in that fairgrounds during a children's event. So there, I just took the liberty to speak my mind, but I knew Gordon Poston. I knew his descendants. I know how proud they were of that property, and no matter what that deed says, it's one of those, and I don't mean this in a negative, Bob, but I am from here. And I know what their intent was with that property. And if there was a change in that because of some grants, I don't want to go away from their intent. But I'm one. And I'm not saying I'd be against it for a wedding reception, wine and cheese festival, that sort of thing, but I think we need to be very careful. I want to put that out there now. If this is the road we're going down, we're going to proceed very cautiously. All right. That said, I'm going to be the one to make the motion that we approve the review of the deed, because I think that is in the best interest of the citizens of Barbour County and what their wishes are. That we look at what we can do with that, and I appreciate your efforts on that.
Yeah, well, the idea, Dave, I know you just said something which you were way off base, but I appreciate your input. Never once said about having beer at the fair, for the fair. No, I said certain events.
Right.
Having events out, like Jed said about a concert or a wine cheap. Events.
I don't think Dave was.
No.
I don't think Dave was.
But no, I wouldn't be for that either.
Yeah.
I would not be for that.
Yeah. And nobody in their right mind would be.
Right.
I'll make a motion that we approve, who'd you use? Triplet and triplet. Is that George and
Jeff?
Jeff's right now. George has got retired or passed on.
I believe George still comes to the office for his coffee.
I can't imagine.
It is Jeff.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I second it.
All right.
I second it.
All right, so we have a motion and a second to approve up to $400 for a review of the deed of the fairgrounds and a synopsis thereof, including insurance, and should there be an issue. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes 3-0. All right, thank you for your work on that.
Oh, you're welcome.
Item number 12, discuss the condition of the one-room schoolhouse at the Barbour County Fairgrounds.
Well, I guess that's mine too, Dave, since I was out there right now.
You're on a roll.
Peggy Poling said something to me about the condition of the one-room schoolhouse out there. My question is, I think I know where it is, but so I went out 2 weeks ago and looked at it. And her brother actually does work on all buildings and things. He actually built one out on their property there. He had also looked at it, and he figures if something's not done within the next year or two, it's going to fall down. And it is in very bad shape. I know the bottom logging one is totally rotted out. And up on the one side, I don't know, maybe X number of logs up, you almost put your hand on right through onto the end. You know, them logs look like they're pretty good size, so I'm no expert, but something needs done. Like real soon, or it's just going to sort of fall down. And I know it's leaning pretty good on the one side, and this polling area, she had some input on it, and maybe she might want to give her input. But it's, I mean, it's a beautiful old building, and if we're not gonna do something with it, it's just gonna fall down on its own. And the grist mill there next door, that needs a little work too. I know it's sort of a building out there in the middle of nowhere, sort of don't get much attention, or like the livestock and the horse barn, but something needs done.
So, I think this one's simple to me. We look at opportunities for historic preservation grants.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, is that sound?
Yeah, because the, now, this is, again, here we go, I've been told, are these, Shayna, are these on the historical register?
You know, I can't answer that. I'll do some research.
Because
and-
if,
and
obviously if
verify.
they are, then there's only,
Mhm.
you know, it's gotta be, you know, if it's an 8.5 inch log,
It's gotta be.
that's what it's gotta be.
I didn't see any plaque or anything that indicates
So,
that.
we need to figure
That's
that
a-
out
Good point.
before we
Yeah.
go any farther, but, you know, if they can be restored without having to go through
I think there was a guy burning the
all the preservation society.
Steve Melkins,
Yeah.
to
her
be,
brother.
You know, I'm not
There
sure.
was a guy, wasn't there a guy that purchased the board?
Can I add to that, Dave?
Sure, yes.
A couple of weeks ago, I was approached, which I haven't got anything done because, you know, with my mother-in-law and my nephew. There was a guy that came up to the fairgrounds somewhere prior to that looked at that with Dwayne Nestor now. He works out at Elkins through some historical society, which you have to give a Dwayne. Dwayne called and told me about it. But I guess this guy is willing to do the work to get the grants where there'll be no money involved the way I understood it. It would all be through the government grant. So, you know, if you get with Dwayne, you might know, because I don't know the fellow's name. But I guess he does this has done different other buildings in Randolph and surrounding counties. And as far as the grist mill goes, we just restained that 2 years ago and put a new roof on it and a new deck. So I don't know what's wrong with the grist mill.
Yeah.
Okay, well, well, that's good information. I appreciate
And I
that,
know
Bill.
Dwayne called this, like I said, days later is when my mother-in-law passed, so I haven't
I understand.
got to pass it on to him.
So you're gonna get a hold of Dwayne
That
and
should
see
be
where.
something, Bill, we should get on with this guy and, you know, get together and see what he has to say, 'cause
maybe Tom Schaefer.
That's what I was wondering.
And he
With
said,
Allegheny
the way
Restoration.
Dwayne explained it to me, he does all the paperwork through the USDA or whatever that grant is, revitalization, whatever it is, that he would take care of all of that.
Okay, well,
I think the first step is though to see if they are or not on the historical
Historical
registry. And if they're not, then probably, like we did the Valley Furnace area, take action to try to get that to happen. So.
okay,
I might, if you don't mind,
Please.
add a couple of things. The retired school employees always manage the activities at that building. We understood, we never owned it, although we do have a lot of parts of it we contributed, and people way older than I am took part in making the benches, and there's an old pot-bellied stove in there and a lot of additions that make it look like an old school. And we conducted the activities at the fair. You know, they had that heritage exhibit where the kids would go. We'd do the lesson for them. The third graders would come in and we'd do an old schoolroom lesson. They'd make apple butter and they'd go see the grist mill and all. And we certainly have an interest in that. Unfortunately, our organization's not functioning very well anymore, as are many these days. People lose interest, and we still are the retired school employees, but we're not active. And the safety of the building became our concern too.
oh, good to know. All right, well, we've got a direction on it. We'll see what comes
I'd be
out.
glad to participate in any discussions on behalf of the organization, if that's helpful.
Okay. All right, Item number 13, Barbour County Clerk, discuss sewer issues and front door entry.
Yeah, it's the clerk again. I started working here in 2013, part-time for Maisel Obels. She brought me in. There was an ad in the papers for part-time, so I was able to get on. And as far as I can recall, I might be mistaken, everybody makes mistakes, that it seems like there's been sewer issues since I have worked here. There has to be some way of resolving this issue, either by venting the sewer trap or removing some of the bathrooms downstairs. Renovations were done to the downstairs offices after Sheriff Carpenter moved his entire force out of the dungeon, as I call it, to the remodeled annex. And these guys spent hours down in these offices, in these little cubby holes down there. I saw the offices after they were remodeled. I did see one before it was remodeled, and it had black mold. Also, there's a room with a table and chairs downstairs for the employees to take their lunch break. Downstairs with the sewer smell. I actually did go downstairs to the kitchen one day just to wash some fruit because Judy said, why don't you take it downstairs and wash it? I was going to share it with the employees. So I went down there and I couldn't believe this new kitchen that was remodeled didn't have a sink. I still had to go to the bathroom and wash the fruit. So I was surprised about that. And as for the offices that were renovated downstairs, I don't know if prosecuting attorney Drew Phillips would want to say anything, but he refused those offices. And I did as well. I think they're maybe being used as storage right now. So, any thoughts on anything from anybody else?
And we did end up taking those offices, that's where Hannah is, but I would put forth that, because of the smell, a lot of times she's up in the main office with me.
With you, upstairs.
Rather than down there. I mean, we did set it up, she is making use of it, but there are, I think everybody's aware of scent issues in the basement. We did take those.
So I'll give a quick update on that. So our maintenance has made some adjustments to outside pipage. That didn't seem to rectify the issue. We have requested the far back office to not utilize that restroom. That's been a week and a half now. And need an indication of the sewer smell not being as evident. So, you have to isolate, is it the prisoner's restroom? Is it that restroom? So we have working with the maintenance department, isolating areas to see, what is the true issue. And so far, it seems to be that one restroom that is currently not being utilized. So we'll allow it some more time, and if that's the case, then a very easy solution would be not to utilize the restroom.
Yeah.
So, has anyone ever contacted an engineer? I'm not a contractor or construction or anything. That's just something that I've thought of. A professional engineer.
Well, I think once we isolate an issue, then might be time we can look at that, but let's see if we can isolate the issue.
Because it's 2025 now.
Okay, front door.
Front door. Front door entry has been closed for many years. As far as I know, COVID-19 was the closure of it, or was it possibly before that?
No, court security.
It was done before that. Okay, it's court security. So, Sheriff Carpenter, first term started in 2020, and he really tried to make this his goal to get the front door open. Security should not be an issue. The old scanner has not been moved from the first floor for years. If it works, then utilize the scanner. If it doesn't work, then get rid of it. It's sitting out there when you come out of the elevator, right there it is. They talked about court. There should be people scanned either downstairs or why not at the front door? Both places. Because they're not scanned in front of the courtroom doors that I know of. The basement should be limited to older people with issues of walking or handicapped only, people with canes, bringing in prisoners, employees with key cards that would have to, be scanned, of course, by security. How many security people work per day? They would be scanned in the basement for court, and the rest scanned at the front door for court issues. Now, I do know they have security during court, so somebody has to go upstairs. But surely in the budget, this could be figured out through security. I know that Brett was supposed to have a meeting with someone. I don't know, I can't speak for Brett about what happened with that meeting. But many, many people have asked all these years, why can't we have the front door open again? What is the issue? I have been told that the ceiling outside the front doors has been repaired, so there's not going to be any issue of the sky falling when you go out the front doors. So if it was falling, I guess it was falling at one time. I thought it was still falling, but that was supposedly repaired.
So based on court security, we can only have one point of entry at a time, isn't that correct?
On court security, what I proposed years ago was to take the metal detector from the bottom door and put up the front doors, bring people through the front who are coming to do their duties at the courthouse. And it was brought up later after that by a circuit judge that maybe we don't need that metal detector. Maybe it should just go from the circuit court. My opinion, no. We're going to vet everybody that comes through here because that's what needs done. It's 2025. It's not 1970. People are dangerous.
Yeah.
To move that, you have to move to the first floor, not the basement. The company has to come in, they have to move it, they have to reprogram it, redo whatever they do to get it working right. Now leave your bottom open. Your bottom's open for handicap. For a handicap to come in, they have to come through security. Technically. If you come in a wheelchair, I can't watch you anyway because you're sitting on metal. We're doing no good. If you come in and you're busting up, crippled, I can't watch you anyway because you've got metal parts in there. Come through the basement. This will be what it's going to be. I wanted the front door open. I've lobbied for that the whole time. I think Phil and someone went together and closed it for the fact of bringing through metal detector. Is there a way to fix that? There's probably several things that they just need to get together to do it. There's always the option of the elderly or handicapped come through our handicapped access. Always. But I have tons of people, for whatever reason, in this community that want to come through the front door of the courthouse, not the basement. I get it. That's the courthouse.
Well, this isn't the first time this has been brought up. Myself and Jamie, well, two or 3 years ago, all three of us, we've started asking. I mean, this isn't hot off the press news.
That is what is ADA or whatever, come through the basement. You have to have your handicapped access. The front is, the only way you can put a handicapped access out there is the aluminum.
So in
whatever they are, ramps or whatever.
In regards to that, we have submitted a Homeland Security grant for an updated scanner because that one's, 10 years old?
Yeah.
I mean, I was probably almost 10, 12 years old. So we've requested, there's new technology. We've requested.
So the big thing about entry is per court security, you have to have one entry and exit door designated that is open. So if the front door is utilized, the basement door that's currently the access will get locked down. So it's just a matter of, figuring out logistics of how that works. If, you're upstairs wanting folks coming in that main door and you have an elderly person at handicap. So, I mean, the ultimate questions are, is there space on the first floor and logistics of how all that will get handled?
My question is, what's safest?
That's where I'm at.
That's the bottom line. What is safest for?
And also,
We can want people to come through the basement, and we can bring them through the front door. And no matter how you have it, I'm gonna walk outside, and there'll be 2 or 3 people stop me and ask me how to get into this courthouse.
Brett,
Every,
Yeah,
because they go to the front door and stand,
Yeah.
there's flower pots set everywhere that looks hideous, but we'll not even go there. And now they can't even get to the front door because it's blocked off with a chain. It looks like we're in jail.
Brett,
I mean, it's just how it is. I'm just thinking, you guys know me, it's just how it is. People don't wanna see it. They don't wanna look at the front courthouse and see chains across the front and potted plants and steps.
I took some.
Well,
pictures.
hardly, honestly, how many employees go through that scanner down there?
Well,
I'll say furthermore,
that's what I wanted to bring
Don't,
up.
when you gotta go in the back door
Per-
or here. So
it's not a security audit.
That's-
I already said that before, as the sheriff of course security. No, but attorneys don't go through it.
Right,
Employees, the
FedEx.
first person in this courthouse that's gonna go
Mailman.
crazy and do something is an employee.
Well, absolutely.
that's
But
what
they
I
don't
was
go
going to
through
say.
It's a fact. Read.
So,
The first person comes here and active shooter is gonna be an employee.
Yeah.
All right, Shane.
So prior to COVID, the single point of entry was the main entrance. People weren't using the back door. But elected officials requested, well, we don't want our employees to pass through people that may have COVID from the public. So that door got,
You bring inmates in and out of
And it
that door,
never-
we can't have the public.
so,
So I do all it for opening it, we just need to find a way to do it. I just say let them come in, and if somebody's in a wheelchair, they can come in the bottom. We have 3 security guards here, all the time. They don't need to be riding around together serving papers. They're functional enough, they can do it themselves. One of them can sit here and run people like they're supposed to. Well, how many wheelchairs come through here? 3? I think we can handle it.
yeah.
Open the front, we'll take care of it. I'm head of security, something falls, it falls on my back, it's on the minutes. Open the front, we'll deal with it. I'll
But-
take
but
it,
who
I'm a
are
little
you-
fellow, but I'm pretty stout.
Who were you supposed to talk to?
All right, hold on.
That gentleman that I missed the meeting with,
if we're opening the front door, then, I mean, it really doesn't matter, but if the front door's gonna stay closed, per a security audit that the clerk's office
I
had,
don't know what he's doing.
they flagged what Brett said. If it's somebody that's gonna do something, it's a follow through. They open this back door, somebody comes in, what if it's a new person, you don't know, you grab the door and let them in. I mean, I just did a little bit ago, I let Joe in the back door, he's a county employee, but he had Dawn with him. Follow through. He came right through the door, didn't go through the detector. Right there's a breach.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, there, it's not, it is what it is.
if we're gonna either, like Brett said, let them in, or we need to fully lock it down and everybody, you know, I can take all the access off this back door and the only door they come through is the basement door and every employee goes through the detector.
But I mean, if you don't go to security, it's stupid. If I want to harm you in this courthouse, I will run my truck right through that bottom door, come up these steps and kill you. And you're not gonna stop me. Period. We gotta quit looking at all that stuff. It's 2025. We need to open this to the public, let the public enjoy this courthouse. If they wanna come in up there, we'll have a metal detector there. If they wanna come in down here, I'll have somebody scan them. If they have to wait 5 minutes right down there to get scanned, and they can, get out of the courthouse. Come back later. It's easy to fix. All you gotta do is do it. If you guys don't want, don't do it. I don't care. I'm not gonna be here in 3 years. The county's gonna come to me and say, well, come in the front door. Put them in the front door. If something happens, we'll news.
It's funny you bring that up.
In the front door.
It's funny you bring that up, Sheriff Partner. When I go to these county commission seminars, sometimes with some downtime, I go look at everyone from other counties. They have a badge on what county they're from. And I talk to some from counties way down south. I said, I have a question for you guys. How do you get in your courthouse? They look at me like I'm from outer space. They said, well, the front damn door. How do you think? I mean, I asked.
And
I think we're the only one that comes in the basement.
On your annexes, all of your employees come in the back door with a key code.
Yeah.
They don't come through security.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. This back door, or the bottom back door with employees coming in, it's in the courthouse in the state. That's just how it is. That's just accepted. And if then you guys decide to come in here, or Drew decides to come in here, or Scott, or whoever, and done something drastic, we deal with it that day. But we took the measures we've taken, we trust our employees, open the front door, we'll scan people to the bottom of the problem's fixed, get them damn pots on the front steps. There's no reason that the front steps of the courthouse should be blocked off.
No, I agree.
And I'm not doing that to start a fight, I'm just saying, just open it. And if something happens, it happens, and the county wants, whatever reason, we want the front door open. So let's use it. And we will put somebody down there to run I got hand warmers. If you want me to run everybody that comes through that door down there, that's in a wheelchair, by God, will do their legs. I don't know what else to tell you about. You can't run them through a metal detector anyway, nor can they go up the steps, so
Yeah.
bring them in the bottom, put them on the elevator, you're handicap accessible.
We need something approved by.
They can have something.
See, now, what I was told,
In a wheelchair.
what I was told was the sheriff's department was against using that front door. I'm serious, that's what the sheriff's department won't allow it.
For 6 years.
I said,
Phil Ferguson shut that door to put the metal detector downstairs. But it wasn't COVID, it was well before COVID, but it had something to do with I'm not saying he did anything on it.
Right.
But that's when the choice was made to put that metal detector in there, because we got a new one. And once we utilized that metal detector, it was common sense that everybody comes to the courthouse, use that metal detector. Don't let them in the front. And then that's like, well, we might as well shut the front, because they have to come in the basement. That's the only reason I was ever shut. There was no other reason to it other than the metal detector. Take the metal detector, put it upstairs, make everybody go through it on one side, the other, or center, and you're done. You have your metal detector. It is crazy to put in front of circuit court. The first place that there's gonna be an incident in this courtroom, or this, is either in here or your office. So why would we scan circuit court when we have two
Now, as long as
deputies
I
in
don't
there with
have any
weapons?
uncontrolled conflict in my
Do
office,
you
I'm
see what I'm
fine.
saying? I got two deputies up there, two officers in court with firearms. I don't need to run someone through the metal detector right there if they've already been through it here. You see what I'm getting at? Like, Drew's will be fine. Judge will be fine. But we'll bring them through the front door through a metal detector.
Right.
Because then you're protecting the tax office, your clerks, and everybody, then the public can. I don't disagree with that. There were some people said do away with it. Just don't even have it. Well, that's ridiculous.
yeah.
I mean, I understand that back, but where we're at today, 2025, that's not
Yeah.
even an option. Even what we can.
What I do know is that we're not gonna fix this today, because we've been
No,
beating this horse.
4 or 6 years.
Yep. And, one thing that hadn't been said, every time this discussion comes up, the name Arthur Angus, court security comes up. So if somebody will bring us a plan for opening the front door that meets everybody's approval, then we'll consider it. So
Furthermore, we need to back up and make sure that this is okay, because how much have we gotten on court security grants for
Quite
cameras
a lot
and
of dollars.
stuff? That,
How much?
well,
Quite a lot of dollars.
I'll say, what happens if we do that? Do we have to revert back and pay that court security funding?
Yeah, if we've got hundreds of thousands of dollars or whatever from court security, what we got? We got a metal detector.
Public
I mean,
cameras.
when you meet with Arthur, I don't get anything out of it. He tells me what he thinks needs done, and then he signs grants or whatever. The only thing we've got from them, in my security aspect of it, is a metal detector. Where the hell they help me security? We got cameras have been here since the 30s. Courthouse has fallen down. We need an annex. Doesn't mean no good. Is what it is.
And you monitor the key cards, right? You have controlled times on everybody that has key cards. So you can tell that anytime, but still, they're not going through scanners. I'm not afraid to go through a scanner every single day. Is it a hassle? Yeah, but there's other things in life that are a hassle.
So are you saying, Lori, you want the courthouse open, or that you want everybody to go through scanners? Which is
Well, you
the,
were also talking about employees not going through scanners, and UPS, and the mailman, and somebody bringing, delivery of food. I mean, seriously, sometimes. I've seen them. People bringing the rugs for the floors, that they should all go through security. Why not? Do you trust everyone? I don't trust everyone. Brett said trust. That's a big 5-letter word.
all right, so, yeah, that seems a bit conflicting. So we open it up, or we put everybody through security.
Well, no.
If somebody brings us a plan for opening the front doors that keeps it secure, then we'll consider it.
I'm not being conflicted.
Item number 14, discuss and consider adopting county purchasing policy. Shayna? you wanna handle this?
Yeah, so, during the most recent audit, we had, we need to do better on our, purchasing documentation, so that drove to creating a purchasing policy draft that, the commission has had for a little bit of time for review and open for comment and edits, and then eventually adopt this policy.
This is something that you said is going to go to policy and procedure prior to purchasing.
Yeah, so it would be a purchasing policy anytime, and there's dollar range of procurement methods and so forth that would have to be followed. In particular, vehicles were one hot topic that was mentioned during the audit. So, if this goes into place, then we'll have to follow that policy for vehicle procurement and purchasing.
Anything I see on here, Shane, number 2, $2,501 to $10,000. A little concerned on this one here. At least 3 verbal or written quotes. I think the verbal part ought to go away. Reason being, I've had some verbal quotes already on different things. Someone says, oh, it'd be around $9,000. Around there. Okay. Job's done, well, it's $14,000. Or, well, I just told you about what it would be. That's the only thing there. It's in writing, that holds up a little bit more than, I hate that, well, it'll be around a certain dollar amount. Somewhere about, we're talking 10 grand, if you're talking 1,000, it ain't a big deal, but that would be anything everything else I agree with. That's on here.
So you go back into it, if you're purchasing anything, you do the 3 bids on it. So if we do a cruiser, we have to do 3 bids on it.
If there are sources, if there are 3 sources.
Well, you seen what happened now. We went away from where we were in the end, and both trucks that we just ordered, brand new trucks, have both been in shop. Because we ventured away from what we've been doing for the last 6 years. Now we have 2 brand new trucks in shop. And a guy willing to drive here from Georgia to try to work on it. Because we saved money.
Well, I don't know that there's anything you have to take the lowest bid, but we have to get bids in.
Just a question on, like, state bids, how does that work with, since it's already done a bidding process?
Right, then it's just a matter of documentation on where it was on the state bid, documentation showing it was on state bid, and that's what method of procurement was utilized.
Okay, so like we wouldn't have to get 3 if it's already been.
That's correct.
Because that process has already been completed.
So like the radios from Motorola, they've got the state bid from, it's on the quote where it's got the state bid, the bid number. So that, like, they might already.
Right, that is sufficient.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything,
No.
Well, and now's the time to cut this thing apart. I mean, I said now's the time to
right.
edit the I mean, it's just simply a starting draft that needs change, then we can come back to it. Just it needs to get implemented.
No,
And if we want input from the rest of the elected officials prior to official approval, we can do that too.
Would it be possible to table and do a work session and let some of us review the policy, about stuff, and give input? Because like Corey just had a question, how, is it like apples to apples?
How close does the
like,
apple have to be to each other?
Like, Golden Delicious versus, like you read, I mean,
My bumper for my truck is different than the one for his truck, which is different than the one that they put on theirs. So if I got 3 different bids, how exact do they have to be? Maybe I'm getting too far to the weeds, but how exact? I'm gonna be, in the next meeting, I'm presenting a deck box. I've got 2 quotes, they're the exact same thing. Do I need to get a third one for something that's not that?
a
What's the
different
price
brand,
range?
you know, like a toolbox, just a slide-in toolbox, it's not.
I already looked, it's $7,000 difference, but, I mean, I already looked. Yeah, for if it's not decked, the one that's made out of metal was $9,000, so.
Well,
I just don't wanna handcuff ourselves to,
Right, it shouldn't be a complicated process and create red tape. It's just,
Yeah.
here's the policy and this is what we follow.
Yeah. And it should be things of like value, or example, give me a bid on a new car. Okay, well, no, this is what we're looking for in a car.
Right.
Four-door, whatever the case is, so it should be a little more detailed to, you want, I don't know about your bumper, we're looking for a bumper for this year vehicle or this year truck, this is what we're looking for. So everybody should be giving you a quote in the same ballpark. A toolbox will back the truck, well, there's plastic, there's this, there's that, so, we want aluminum,
Is this the assessor's office? No, you need to go
and
upstairs.
so that's what you would look at here for you. I mean, really what you're looking for, so they're all about the same.
This commission.
Am I on the right page with that, Shannon?
I'm sorry, I got
I think you are. I think, yeah, like, say your bumper, for instance, I think would be steel or painted, powder coated versus stainless with the bumper guard on the bumper or winch mount made in it. So, 3 of those.
Same category, but it doesn't have to be exactly the same specs.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. I have to say, in reading this, and I thought I had mentioned about the verbal concerned me earlier in the process, and so I agree with that. I don't have a problem putting it out to the people that are gonna use it beforehand, and per your recommendation. I think that's a good idea. So instead of taking action on this, why don't we, are you opposed to taking the verbal part out of that, Jed?
No.
That just leaves the door open, so if you could do that and put it out to elected officials for comment, and I don't think it needs to be more of a work session than that, but we could review any concerns and consider adopting the policy after that.
A good example, Corey, we just got 3 bids for a furnace for the sheriff's office, sheriff building, 3 bids. 19,000 and 2 for 11. So what if you just got the 19,000 bid? You're overspending taxpayers' money by quite, that's just one little item, it's just a small item. I mean, different brand furnaces, but still the same, pretty much the same.
some of the questions I had was like, which we talked about, I think, then there was like the emergency clause and what defines an emergency. So let's say it was 10 below zero and that furnace went out. What constitutes an emergency and an emergency expenditure versus getting the bids? If it's 5 degrees outside and the heater goes out in the dispatch room, is the dispatcher going to set while we fiddle with what we're doing, or while we grab what
All right. So item number 14 will be tabled until for changes and review of the elected officials and those that will be affected by the policy. Item number 15, public comment. Mr. Talbot?
He already had his.
Yes, I do. I got a comment.
Okay.
Something I don't think I was brought up here when I put this one up. When you, people have something to say, bring them up here. Make them stay there until you guys vote on whatever it is. Don't let them go back here and you're back and forth and back and forth.
Yeah, that's the problem. So do we keep them in line?
Keep them right there till your vote, whatever you do.
You can't hear them back there.
Okay.
Now, a while ago on the trucking deal, where you had 3 guys, I don't know how you do I don't know how you
Yeah,
do
that's
that.
what I was saying. Do we line them up?
I don't know how you do that.
I'm just telling you, like myself when I was up there, of course, you didn't vote on anything, but anybody that goes up there and they're asking for something, and you're voting on it, I think they should stay there, of course, they're gonna ask questions, or you're gonna ask questions, or, you have to come back to it. Which, like, one good example was the cop was in here. He go up here, stood there for a couple minutes, he must talk back here for 20 minutes.
Yeah. I got you. Well, thank you, sir. Mary left. Bill?
Oh, that was another thing. I Mary Poland. She, when I told her I was going there, she said she's into that, fit into that live stream, and she knows all about that and how the sound goes. So you might, I asked her to stay, she said she had to leave.
Okay.
But you might want to talk to her on that.
Okay, I'll talk to her pretty regular. I'll ask her next time.
Okay.
Thank you. Bill?
Not really a lot. I just want to thank all you guys for what you do help through the fairgrounds. Like I said, we've had more comments this year on that fairground, so thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
You do most of the work. You put the boots on the ground up there, and if it wasn't for you and the people that help you, it wouldn't be that way. It's not because of us.
Well, I just want you to know we're going to try. I'm going to put new lights in where those for the parking lot before the rodeo comes in, so that'll be a big blessing.
Yes, it will. Looking forward to that. Dylan doesn't count. Kim? I'll just say happy Thanksgiving. You never have anything to say, so I'll tell you happy Thanksgiving. Ed, Jason, Corey doesn't count. Sam and Margie?
Well, I'm learning where my tax dollars are going.
Well,
That's good, isn't it?
it is. And I hope I hope you agree with where they're going. Let's see, anybody else? That's it.
Well, Sam, you didn't ask Sam.
Well,
Nah,
I saw.
Yes, Margie.
I saw Sam do that.
She talked.
So for everybody that'll be out hunting next week, be safe, and hope to see your picture with a big buck, Sam. All right. Item number 16, setting of the next regular meeting. And I think we already established that'll be Monday, December 1st at 5 p.m., correct? All right. Well, I had a goal at noon. Looks like we got there.
Hit that one right.
Not yet, but
I have one more comment if I could.
This will take us right up the news.
yeah, there we go.
When you're doing this year, I think you should have a reporter from the newspaper in here each meeting to take down the notes and put it in the paper for next week. That way, if people don't, be able to check the live stream or not here, they can get it pretty quick.
Are you talking
I don't
about?
know where that just paid on, I don't know. But I think that'd be a good idea if you had a reporter each meeting.
Okay. Well, there's only one, so we can certainly make sure she's invited.
Okay?
Okay. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion passes 3-0. Thanks for your work today, everyone. Good job.